Welcome to Full Count Rhythm Baseball on the Full Count Broadcast Network, presented by Full Count Ministry and Rhythm Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram. Now let's send it to the ballpark for today's matchup.
Welcome to Marion, Illinois for today's afternoon, first afternoon ball game of the season between the Thrillville Thrillbillies and the Full Count Rhythm. Game number 6 for the Rhythm, game number 5 for the Thrillbillies. This is Tim Reese along with Max Keller here on the Full Count Broadcast Network. Audio only broadcast today, other than this little video that you see of us here in I keep wanting to call it Rent One Park. Mountain Dew Park now here in Marion, Illinois, where the Thrillbillies play. Former home stadium for the Marion Miners in the minor league years ago. But had a ball game last night. Didn't go Full Count Rhythm's way, but had some great entertainment following the game. Yeah. Something very memorable, Max. You'll probably remember your first Full Count Rhythm broadcast.
I mean, getting shot out of a cannon right in front of us was one of America's Got Talent's former performers, and you know what? He nailed it, but I felt like I got shot out of a cannon yesterday just being a part of this awesome team and being up here with Tim, and you know, the support we got last night in the stream was awesome, and so I thoroughly enjoyed my first game here at Full Count. Well,
Max, you did a great job, and as we talked about later on after the broadcast, you fit right in, and congrats to all the people who have had a hand in your development down there at Miami, and appreciate your preparation before the game. And, folks, he's got notes on top of notes, and he's ready for even the 10th pitcher to come in the ball game.
I hope so.
He's ready with a tidbit of information as we are here in it's a nice stadium here, Mountain Dew Park, and today is Super Splash Sunday. Is that what it was?
Yep, Super Splash Sunday. They got some wet activities today on the hot afternoon here on a Sunday, and a lot of kids out here at the park going to enjoy that.
So we've got a group of young ball players in their uniforms that will take the field with the Thrillbillies as they go out for the national anthem, and they are getting ready right in front of the first base dugout. Full Count will be in their all-baby blues today after their road grays yesterday. So very colorful game here this afternoon. 4 o'clock start time. Max, why don't you summarize yesterday's game for those that may not have watched?
Well, yesterday's game was a little bit different than most of the Full Count Rhythm games we've seen this season. All season long, they've been looking for some consistent pitching, and they got it from Zane Brown, who was yesterday's Frosted Luau Player of the Game. He went 5 innings pitched and only allowed 2 runs, one of them earned, struck out 6. And J.D. Price and Ryan Sweeney came in and also did a really good job. Sweeney allowed 1 more run. It was a 3-1 loss. But I have to say, I feel like if the bats had been there, it could have been a huge momentum game for Full Count. But instead, on the other side, it was just a few big opportunity hitting situations, specifically for Michael Mylott, who had a double home run and a single, reached on an error as well in that game. But Mylott's hitting with 2 RBIs of the 3 runs was absolutely crucial. And I think if you're Full Count, you're excited about building off of that pitching performance yesterday, and you hope the bats can wake up. Obviously, this morning, the team got to wake up and spend some time together as a big team meeting. So overall, I think they're going to be ready to go today, Tim, and hoping to put up more than 1 run.
Look at Fonzie's bringing in. Fozzie, I called you Fonzie. Fozzie has brought in lunch, or lupper as it might be. This right here is a donut hamburger, cheeseburger. Oh, my gosh. There might be a couple calories in here. I hope my wife is not watching. I have no idea when I'm going to be able to eat that, but we got
sugar bacon on top of it.
That's some bacon, and it is a double stack with some onion ring. Looks like parts on top as well. They have treated us very, very well here at Mountain Dew Park, and we appreciate the Thrillville Thrillbillies as we've gotten stats, we've gotten rosters, lineups. Nick and Austin, Fozzie, all the folks here have been tremendous hosts for us, and we sure appreciate that. Let's take our first break, and we'll come back with the Chick-fil-A of Rivergate starting lineups.
Don't strike out at your next party. Order the food that will get your crowd cheering. Chick-fil-A of Rivergate. We have many catering options available, from our Chick-fil-A nugget trays to our original Chick-fil-A sandwiches to our chocolate chunk cookies and fudge brownies. We have something for everyone. Order online at chickfil-a.com or call the store at 615-851-4007.
If you didn't know, the Full Count Rhythm is part of the organization called Full Count Ministries. Full Count's mission is to give every baseball player the opportunity to hear the gospel, respond to the gospel, and grow in the relationship with Jesus. With Full Count, you could lead by discipling the next generation by using our resources, or you could go on international mission trips. For more of what we do, check out our website at fullcountministries.com or our pages on Instagram and Facebook.
Welcome back to the Full Count Broadcast Network. Now it's time for the Chick-fil-A of Rivergate starting lineup.
Chick-fil-A of Rivergate starting lineups brought to you by Chick-fil-A of Rivergate. Our good friends Todd and Linda Hunley right over there in Madison, Tennessee. Appreciate their support of Full Count Ministries and Full Count Rhythm Baseball for many years. Here's how the Rhythm will start. Leading off, playing left field, is Andrew Hunt. Batting second is the center fielder, Jacob Tobias. And in the number 3 hole is Lawson T., the DH, in today's ball game. Hitting cleanup, third baseman Ramey Harrison. Batting fifth, playing right field, is Joe Watkins. Aiden Gibson at second, batting sixth. Jackson Cothran behind the plate, hitting seventh. Brett Von Dullen over at first base, batting eighth. And Parker McDonald out at shortstop, batting ninth. And on the mound for his first start in a Rhythm uniform, Chet Lax, a left-hander out of Wright State University. He's a hometown boy in Hendersonville, Tennessee. Went to Pope John Paul II.
Or JP2, as we call it.
Yeah,
in the Nashville area.
It's now new, as in Pope Prep is what they're being marketed as. So
I guess you graduate and you leave Nashville for long enough, everything changes, but nonetheless.
Ensworth and JP2 had some matchups over your time in high school over there at Ensworth. And Chet Lax will face the Thrillbillies lineup that looks like this. A little bit different, but middle part of that lineup is pretty much the same. Brendan Brock, their catcher, is going to lead off. Michael Milot with the 3-for-4 big game yesterday as a DH, and he's in the number 2 hole. Jack Porter, right field, batting third. Jackson Lindsay back in the cleanup spot playing first base. Bryson Arnett at third, batting fifth. Cam Hill, center fielder, batting sixth. Carl Peters moves from leadoff spot down to the number 7 hole. He'll play left field again. Caleb Herbert over at shortstop today, batting eighth. And Josh Griffin over at second base, batting ninth. And on the mound for his first start with Thrillville is right-hander Jacob Husted, 6'4", 190-pound sophomore from Breeze, Illinois. And he played his freshman year at Murray State. That is your Chick-fil-A of Rivergate starting lineup, as the umpires have met with the head coaches, Josh Carmen for the Full Count Rhythm, and sticking around to talk a little bit longer with the 3 umpires is head coach Ralph Santana of the Thrillbillies. Umpires for today's game behind the plate is Brian Shaw. At first base is Brad Wilson, and third base is Preston Childers. So a 3-man crew here, just as Full Count Rhythm employs. And thank you for those of you that have already joined on our 3 social medias. We've got Joel Watkins that's watching in on Facebook, and Max and I were talking about the Watkins family. Joe Watkins, of course, is batting fifth, playing right field. His father's name is Joey, so I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Joel is let me see, what was it, Pap in Dothan,
Pop,
Alabama.
right?
I know that, but it's going to be his grandfather. Joe Watkins, Paul. There we go. Paul and Nana in Dothan, Alabama. So, Joel, I'm going to say you're Paul. That's my final answer. You can let us know if you're right. Joel happens to be my twin brother's name as well. So, got some biblical names. His name's Joel Stephen. My name's Timothy Mark. My mom apparently was reading her Bible at that moment way back in 19.
Oh, yeah. Just one more time, Tim, on that one?
Yeah. It's the 19's in the front of that. They're young Max. He born in 20, we're going to go 2004.
Minus 2. 2002.
2002.
Yeah.
Youngster. Just a baby.
Youngster.
I don't even have kids born just grandkids born in the 2000s. All my kids have 19s in front of it.
Yep.
Matter of fact, my son has already checked in on the back line, but he is he's texting in the whole family here, but they are sure at the house. Said they were eating Mexican food earlier today, so I assume that is over. So hopefully there is a video broadcast for those of you that were wanting to watch the video as well, maybe listening in to our stream as well. If you want to get a hold of us, you can send an email right there to treesports@gmail.com. We made that a little bit bigger so you could see it. As Mike T has checked in on YouTube, says hello from Texas. Mike, let us know who you're rooting for and where particularly in the 254, I said 295 counties in the state of Texas, and we had somebody fact check me, which I appreciate. 254 counties in the state of Texas.
I'm pretty sure you put Texas in Western Europe and it covers most of those countries. This is adorable right here on the field, as Tim mentioned. We got a bunch of little ball players coming out.
I mean, some little guys.
I'm talking 4 or 5 years old, but it's really cute to see.
All going out to the spots. You don't want to be attached to the left fielder here, Carl Peters. You got to run a long way. So the Thrillbillies have taken the field, and probably each player has 5 to 10. Actually, we have
some
boys and girls out here. Yeah, we got one that's wandering away from pitcher's mound.
What can you do? At that age, do they really understand?
Maybe he's got a sister that's going to grab him. Yeah. He's running away from his sister. So it is, I guess we're going to have
anthem time.
We had a moment of silence, I guess, there. So we will take a break and come back after our national anthem. You're listening to the Full Count Rhythm Broadcast Network.
Rhythm Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram knocks it out of the park with Nashville's best selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs. Plus, all new vehicles come with a Rhythm exclusive lifetime warranty. Unlimited time, unlimited miles, no additional charge. That's a home run. Find your new Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Madison, just 10 minutes north of Nashville.
If you've got a dream, then we've got you covered. Rhythm Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram is like no other.
Think about something for a moment. Every single business, from the smallest neighborhood bakery to the biggest multinational corporation, is someone's dream come true. The byproduct of planning and determination and hard work. If you own a business, you already know that. So you'll also understand that fire and security protection isn't just about protecting property. It's about safeguarding dreams. At Corson, that's what we've specialized in since 1946. Corson Fire and Security. Corson.com.
Let's get back to Full Count Rhythm Baseball action on the Full Count Broadcast Network.
Is your home showing symptoms of foundation issues? Your home's wet basement, dingy crawl space, musty smells, cracked walls, or unlevel concrete shouldn't be ignored. Helitech can help. Life happens in your home. You and your family deserve the best. Helitech offers proven solutions in waterproofing, drainage, concrete leveling, and foundation repair services. Contact us for a free inspection at helitechonline.com.
When the water's high, we'll keep your basement dry. Heal your home with Helitech.
And the national anthem sung live here for the second game in a row. Always like it when we have a live anthem
just
singer.
Feels special, right?
Although, I mean, you can't beat a Whitney Houston
Best
national anthem.
anthem of all
As
time.
40 kids run off the field at the same time. Here is they were out with the fielders for the Thrillbillies. Mike T rooting for the Thrillbillies because his niece Alyssa is working one of the cameras here. And not sure how many cameras on the video that you will see. We're talking about maybe just having one high home. So Mike Harrell, who might be watching today, or if you are watching and listening to us, Trevor Barnes is apparently watching, says that it's blurry and crooked. Okay, they're having troubles up here with the video feed, I know, but our buddy Austin that we met before the game is their broadcaster, young broadcaster from Wabash Valley College, just graduated. He's looking for an opportunity out in the baseball broadcasting world, just like my man Max Keller here is following his upcoming senior year at Miami. Max, if ESPN called you right now, would you leave Miami and head out?
He said that he was waiting a year to graduate, but I'm not going to lie. If ESPN called my number right now, maybe I'd go back to Miami in a couple of years and get that degree. That's what the professionals do anyways for athletics.
If you're just joining us, Max Keller joined us yesterday for our first broadcast with our new broadcast intern, our first time we've ever had an intern, and sure appreciate Max reaching out earlier this year, and we were able to make it happen. So he is going to be on all the road trips, and I just informed him he's welcome to come to our home games.
I'd love to
as well.
I can't get enough of it.
Yeah,
I got to come to at least one home game because you guys know over here I got to wear my full count merch.
We're going to have to get him decked out in some merchandise. But Zach Williams, I'm not inviting him to take over your job. I'm offering up my seat for times, but I am getting him ready when we get our couple new cameras that working the wireless cameras on our switcher. So we are set to play ball here as Andrew Hunt steps in to face Jacob Hustet. And the first pitch low and away, and we are underway here at 4:08 p.m. Central Time. Game time temperature 83 degrees, brought to you by Helitech Waterproofing and Foundation Repair. Pitch number 2 also misses. Hunt ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. Now, that one gets on the outside corner. Andrew playing left field today, came in as a pinch hitter in yesterday's game, made the final out of the game. Looks at ball 3 down low.
Brian Shaw behind home plate. We had Brad Wilson there last night.
3-1 pitch gets in there for a called strike, and our first batter of the game, we get to a Full Count Ministries full count. If you want to send us in your verse as Andrew Hunt hits that full count pitch. Ground ball right up the middle through the boxes. They say for a leadoff base hit, that's a good sign for the Rhythm.
Yep, already starting off better offensively than they did yesterday, where it took them a while to get going. Let's see if the Rhythm can string some base runners together.
So Hunt has now tied Caden Wilkes, who's not in the lineup today, with the most hits on the team. They both have 7. Jacob Tobias, the center fielder, stands in. Looks at a first pitch called strike. Tobias comes in with 2 hits. One is a long ball. Lines that one foul. Actually, that came up into the second level where we are, just to the left of us.
Yeah, just got over the top wire of that netting. Made a pretty loud bang over here on the left side.
Have to get used to these stats that they sent us. I'm looking on this stat sheet and I'm thinking, okay, where's the batting average at? Got on base percentage, I got slugging. I got to figure out my own batting average. Count goes 1 ball, 2 strikes. There's another line drive up the middle. Back-to-back hits brought to you by Old Hickory Bats. Throw comes into third base, and the Rhythm have runners at first and second.
Well, Jacob Tobias there did such a good job of keeping those hands into the chest, really made contact with the right part of the bat, but when you hit the ball right up the middle and you hit it that purely, you know you're locked in at the plate. Just a beautiful swing there from Tobias.
Lawson T, the DH, stands in from the right side, looks at a strike that whispers at the outside corner as it went by. Husted got a generous call there. Lawson T from Lipscomb University, redshirted this past year. Swing and a miss.
And Hustad's another tall pitcher we saw last night. Zajac was 6'7", I believe, and tonight Hustad is 6'4". So, again, looks like the Thrillbillies have their type of pitcher that they like putting on the mound as Hustad takes a step off. We'll see what the backdoor breaking ball does tonight. Last night that wasn't being called for a strike. We'll see if Hustad goes there at all today and how Brian Shaw calls it behind home plate.
Tapper foul at the plate. Might have caught a piece of Brendan Brock behind home plate. And T down in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes with 2 on, nobody out, just getting started here in the top of the first inning. It is a beautiful Chamber of Commerce day here in Marion, Illinois, about 3 hours away from Hendersonville, Tennessee. Home base for the Rhythm. Off-speed pitch misses up. 76-mile-an-hour changeup, it appears. Husted delivers, sliced foul down the right field line. AAA Autoglass foul ball, thanks to Dylan and Stephanie Doris. They are host home family, and Dylan and his family are big-time supporters of Full Count Rhythm. Dylan Doris also a fall league coach in the Woodbat High School League that Full Count Ministries has put on for a dozen years or so now. 2-2 pitch is high. Well, another Full Count Ministries full count saying if you want to send in a possible verse of the game for the Full Count Ministry verse of the game toward the end of the game, send it to treesports@gmail.com. We'll give you a shout out. 2 is chopped to short, gloved, and the underhand flip to second base in time to get the force, but T hustling down the line beats out the return throw by Josh Griffin. So T reaches on the fielder's choice. Tough play there for Caleb Herbert at short.
And he did about as well as he could. I mean, he charged that ball and caught it, preventing it from taking another hop, flipped on, but by the time that ball was out of the hand of Josh Griffin, you could tell that going down the line, Lawson T had plenty of speed to beat out the throw.
Ramey Harrison, third baseman, he slices one off the netting. We have runners at the corners, brought to you by CrossFit Hendersonville. Ryan and Lindsay McDuffie, owners of CrossFit over there at Jessica Lauren Court in Hendersonville, Tennessee. Line drive, backhand glove, nice work by Herbert. They tried to turn another 6-4-3. That would have been an amazing play. Probably would have had to take a picture of that one, put a yellow star by it, but Herbert, the ball hit really sharply, but to his backhand, and he kept it from going into left field for an RBI single off the bat of Harrison, but Harrison reaches on the fielder's choice, and Framework Athletics' first run of the game comes in on the RBI fielder's choice by Ramey Harrison. Joe Watkins, son of Joey and Stacy Watkins, stands in. Looks at a called strike. So a couple 6-4 putouts. As the runner goes, pitch called a ball, throw down is in time apparently. Looked like he got his foot in there, but maybe he hopped up over the bag. Not really sure, but a caught stealing of Ramey Harrison. 2-2, I'm assuming that Honestly, I don't know who caught that ball. That's one of the things I haven't gotten in my progression. But the Rhythm take the lead here in the top of the first inning on a couple singles and a ground out. So 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, nobody left on base. And that's back to where the Rhythm like to be, is scoring early. I believe that is the 4th game out of 6 that the Rhythm have scored in the first inning. We'll be right back after this break.
You might get to nap, but your money doesn't. Like right now. At Volunteer State Bank, it's working hard day and night, earning 4.5% APY. Playtime, drive time, anytime. You could be out with friends or on vacation, but your money, it doesn't take a break. You've worked hard for it. Now let it work hard for you. Open a free Kasasa Cash checking account today and earn 4.5 annual percentage yield if qualifications are met on balances up to $15,000.
Safeware is there when response is critical, assisting in the classroom as you shape the future of America, helping you build roadways and infrastructure for tomorrow. With protective solutions, innovative technology, and leading technical services, Safeware works tirelessly to provide our nation's workforce with confidence in their safety. Before, during, and after, Safeware is there.
Tim Reese and Max Keller back for the bottom of the first inning. Left-hander Chet Lax out on the mound, finishing up his warm-up tosses. Chet is a left-hander, 6 foot, 180 pound, rising sophomore from Wright State University up in Dayton, Ohio. Pitched his high school ball at JP2, now called Pope Prep. And he threw the most innings of any pitcher for Wright State. He threw 56 plus innings of work, got in 18 appearances, 9 starts. There's a ground ball right back to him, 1 hop, and he will glove and underhand toss over to Von Dolan as he was running toward Brett. So 1 pitch, 1 out.
Ninja-like reflexes there.
Yeah.
I mean, Chet Lax leading Wright State in innings pitched, that's a pretty big deal. That's a pretty serious program over there at Wright State, making the tournament 2 years in a row, 2 years ago, not this year, but the past 2 years before that. So, you know that he's earning his stripes there.
Michael Mylott, triple away from the cycle in yesterday's game, stands in the plate. Thrillville wearing their white pants and orange tops. Called strike there as that pitch whispered at the outside corner. That's getting toward the edge of the river. That's the Edge Appraisal Services river area. Popped up on the right side and shallow right field. In comes Joe Watkins, and he couldn't see that ball. It was right in the sun. And Michael Mylott's going to have a Sunfield double. Pretty sure they'll rule that as a hit.
Well, it was Aiden Gibson who initially got a read on the ball at second, but that was not his ball. I mean, it was too deep into right. But I don't know that Joe Watkins ever saw it, and he might have thought that Gibson was going to try to go back on it, so just kind of landed in the dead zone right there. And we saw that last night, full count, letting a double happen that way, and really now with a runner in scoring position, unfortunate, but Chet Lax will have to bounce back right here.
So a runner at second with 1 out. There's first pitch swinging. Jack Porter fouls that one off. A AAA autoglass over toward the Rhythm dugout. Ball boy looking for somebody to throw that baseball to, and apparently they're giving away baseballs here at Mountain Dew Park. 0-1 pitch from Lax. Left it out to left center field. This should be a little bit easier. Andrew Hunt and Jacob Tobias crash into each other, and Tobias comes out of there with the catch. Looks like they're both okay, but Andrew Hunt was coming at that pretty hard.
I think
that's Hunt out there in left field.
You'd be correct. That is Andrew Hunt.
I know.
I think.
Okay, he had his glove in his right hand, and I thought, wait a minute, Hunt doesn't throw right-handed or left-handed.
Yeah, I think he was just wiping off the sweat from the nerves of almost hitting somebody right there.
So now 2 outs and left-handed hitting first baseman Jackson Lindsay from the University of Alabama, Huntsville. So they did give Mylott a double on that. Watkins out in right field after he did finally see it, made a diving attempt but could not haul it in. There's a 84-mile-an-hour fastball that misses outside. So miscommunication between the left fielder and the center fielder did not result in the ball hitting the turf. There's another fastball on the outside corner, but home plate umpire Brian Shaw does not give that much ground over there, and we have a 3-ball, no-strike count to Lindsay. Lefty on lefty matchup here, and Lax gets that one in there. LAX. So, what do you think his nickname is?
I mean,
his name is the airport. He's at LAX. 3-1 pitch, breaking pitch, misses down low. Puts runners at first and second. Brings up Bryson Arnett, the third baseman. Arnett comes in hitting .400. Arnett in 4 games has 6 hits in 17 plate appearances. How did Arnett do yesterday? He was 1 for 3 with a double and a run scored. Got a chance to tie this ball game up with a base hit. Big lead out at second base. Changeup misses outside.
Yep, nobody holding on the runner at second.
Gibson now moves over toward the bag. Parker McDonald, the shortstop. Aiden Gibson at second again tonight. Now he moves back to his spot in pretty straight away second base. That fastball gets in there for a called strike. Lax had a 4-1 record with Wright State. True freshman, 56 innings of work, 45 strikeouts, 18 walks. He gets a swing and a miss there. So he's not overpowering you with a fastball.
Well, he's got a big leg kick to it, so I think he really puts some extra emphasis. That fastball has some late life. But you're right. I mean, the batters might be able to pick it up with that miles per hour.
Tried to nip at that outside corner to get the first strikeout, but misses. Count goes 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Bottom of the first rhythm with the early lead 1-0. A couple singles by Hunt and Tobias. A fielder's choice. Drove in the first run, and whatever full count Ministries full count is. That changeup misses outside. Runners will be on the move with the pitch, so ball in the gap could score 2. Outfielders playing straight away. Runners go. Slow roller. Lax off the mound, gloves, and throws a strike over to Von Dolan. So couple
1-3s in the same inning.
Couple assists by Chet Lax. And he leaves 2 on base. No hits, no errors. There was, 1 hit. And no runs. Take a break. Be back for the top of the second after this message.
Feeling tight, stiff, and not quite yourself? Then it might be time to go see the professionals at Absolute Wellness. Located at 101 Tennessee Way, Suite 100 here in Hendersonville, Absolute Wellness can get you back on track with their numerous services like chiropractic care, massage, acupuncture, spinal decompression, and IV therapy. Call Absolute Wellness at 615-264-8515 today to get in on some great offers. That's Absolute Wellness. Your road to absolute wellness starts here.
Compliant with code. If you're a facility manager or building owner, you've heard the term plenty of times. At Corson Fire and Security, we work to keep buildings compliant with the most demanding code of all, our own. We've been protecting people and property since before most of today's codes were even written. And what we've learned along the way makes us the best choice to partner with for the future. Corson Fire and Security, celebrating 70 years. Learn more at Corson.com.
Let's get back to Full Count Rhythm Baseball action on the Full Count Broadcast Network.
For 3, they got
Hey, that's got to be down in front of my face. There we go. Now we're back. Got the video that's blurry, and then we have a muted microphone here in the broadcast. But apologize for the Thrillville Thrillbillies. Mike Kelly telling us about their camera. They're having issues here. Several people know about it already, and I'm assuming that they've got their best people on it, but right now not having, as we're having a delay to get back started with the top of the second inning, had the between inning entertainment that took a little bit longer. Joe Watkins, Aiden Gibson, and Jackson Cothran lead off. First pitch swinging Watkins. It's a slow roller to short. Herbert up, and a sidearm throw is just toward the home plate side of first base and pulls Jackson Lindsay off the base.
I think Watkins might have been safe had the throw been on target. I mean, he really gave his best effort, took a long stride there at the end, but the throw did pull Jackson Lindsay off the bag over there at first.
He runs well. We'll see how they rule that, and they have ruled an error. So E6 on the play puts Watkins on first and Aiden Gibson at the plate. First pitch misses. Watkins with 2 stolen bases in 2 attempts already. He is tied for the team lead. Mays White, who had the lead prior to the other day, he's now left the squad, so different leaders. That flare down to right field, that'll get down for a base hit, and it'll roll and hit off of the fence. Josh Griffin, the second baseman, retrieves that one, but his throw to second base not in time. Aiden Gibson gets a bloop double down the right field line. Had nice English on that one, Max.
Yep, sometimes you just hit it where they ain't, and if you're the pitcher on the mound for the Thrillbillies and Hustad, I mean, that's not your favorite type of hit to give up, but sometimes that's just baseball.
Catch line drives like Herbert did at shortstop, made a nice play on a very well-hit ball by Ramey Harrison, but results in an out, and there's a ball off the glove of Hustat and rolls up the middle, and Cothran won't be stopped at first, and neither will Aiden Gibson, who scores on what ends up being an infield single. So give Jackson Cothran 2 RBIs on back-to-back singles. That one hit off the glove of Jacob Hustat, the pitcher, and then caromed toward the back end of second base. Josh Griffin was able to slide and try to get a handle on it, but Aiden Gibson didn't stop coming around third, and he hustled all the way home to give the Rhythm a 3-0 lead.
Well, sometimes when you put 1 run up in 9 innings, you know, the next day you're due for some runs, especially with an offensive team like this.
Brett Von Dolan takes a cut and comes up empty. Count now 1 ball, 1 strike on the Rhythm first baseman. So back-to-back hits brought to you by Old Hickory Bats. That's happened twice already today. A strike called in the left-handed batter's box. It's tough when you're up there and you got a ball and a strike. That very next pitch is a very important pitch. Hustet got the call. 1-2. And a breaking pitch right over our heads.
It's going to land on top of us.
Yes, a little boom right there.
Von Dolan had a pretty big year at MTSU with 5 home runs and 25 RBIs. Could be a really important piece for this team this year.
Swing and a miss. Ball trapped in the turf by Brendan Brock, but the runner at first base, Von Dolan, is retired on the strikeout. First out of the inning after Watkins reached on the error. Bloop double by Aiden Gibson down the right field line. Then a base hit by Jackson Cothran drove in 2 runs. A strikeout to Von Dolan brings up Parker McDonald, the number 9 hitter in the Rhythm lineup. Lineup put together by Jackson Jarvis, who is the third base coach. He's the hitting coach for Full Count. Jimmy Gamboa coaching down at first base. He's the bench coach for head coach Josh Carmen. Pitching coach is Jordan Duell. I don't know why I wanted to say Brendan. Jordan Duell. Another pitch blocked in the dirt, and the count goes 3 balls and no strikes to McDonald, wearing number 15. He is from Samford, I believe.
Yep, Tallahassee, Florida
There we
native.
go.
Made his way to Samford. Bats right and throws right, standing in the right batter's box, and takes ball 4 for a walk. And the inning continues, and Andrew Hunt is back up to bat in just as many innings in his second appearance in 2 innings.
This will mean a visit from, I assume, the pitching coach. Although I don't see a pitching coach showing, but manager Ralph Santana, I know that's not him. It could be Bart Zeller, the bench coach. We have an assistant coach, Travis Hope. Bobby Simpson is the hitting coach. Player development intern is Ryan Hopkins. I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's not Ryan Hopkins. Who's your guess as to which coach that is? We're going to take these two out of the equation.
I'm going to
go 50-50. Bart or
go
Travis?
Bart Zeller.
He looked like a Bart, didn't he?
He looked like a Bart.
He looked more like a Bart than a Travis.
Just based on the time frame, I'd say.
He was an older gentleman, had white hair. Might be Bartimaeus, Bartholomew. In the Bible, Bartholomew was an encourager. Mark McDaniel calls me an anti-Barnabas sometimes. First pitch to Hunt, misses the strike zone. Hustat delivers a strike in there to number 20, the left fielder, Andrew Hunt. Let's see if I can figure out those stats from the UAB product. He takes a healthy cut, comes up empty there. He has had a great start. 5 games he's played in. He's hitting .353. Picked up his 7th hit of the year in the first inning. Scored the Framework Athletics first run of the game. Looks at strike 3 as that catches the outside of the river there. The river area is the area between home plate, the edge of home plate on the opposite side, actually both sides, and the white line on the batter's box is what the umpires tell me is what's called the river. And
I'm used to that being a poker term, but I guess here it's a different meaning.
It is. Jacob Tobias stands in, and he looks at a strike that looked like it was in the river on the inside portion of the plate.
Yeah, that right side of the plate right now is definitely giving Brian Shaw some fits, trying to figure out what the zone is, especially these rhythm hitters trying to figure it out as well.
Takes another strike. Change up there from right-hander Jacob Hustat. Trish Howard listening in down in Pike Road, Alabama. Trish, I'm sorry, I just have to say it that way. It helps me to remember it better. Pike Road, Alabama is where they live. Rick and Trish Howard as Tobias swings and misses to retire the side. 3 strikeouts for Hustet. He gets all 3 of those in the second inning, but the Rhythm scored 2 more, and one of those is earned on 2 hits, 1 big error, and 2 runners left on base. So after 1.5, the Rhythm lead 3-0. You're listening to the Full Count Broadcast Network.
Your home run deals from your hometown dealer. Rhythm Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. We've got Nashville's best selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs. Plus, every new vehicle comes with Rhythm's exclusive lifetime warranty. Unlimited time, unlimited miles at no additional charge. We've got great deals on deck, so step up to the plate. Find your new Chrysler Dodge Jeep or Ram at rhythmcdjr.com. Feel the rhythm, love the ride.
If you didn't know, the Full Count Rhythm is part of the organization called Full Count Ministries. Full Count's mission is to give every baseball player the opportunity to hear the gospel, respond to the gospel, and grow in the relationship with Jesus. With Full Count, you could lead by discipling the next generation by using our resources, or you could go on international mission trips. For more of what we do, check out our website at fullcountministries.com or our pages on Instagram and Facebook.
Chet Lax back out on the mound for the Rhythm. We are swallowing the last bites of my glazed donut bun double hamburger.
Candy bacon as well.
Candy bacon. I haven't even got to the bacon part of it. I did eat the entire top of the donut, so I've had a glazed donut and one bite of the hamburger with the French onion crumbles on top. Very delicious. Just telling Max I wished I'd have gotten that before the game where I could have really enjoyed it. But such is life. 6, 7, and 8 to come to the plate for Thrillville here in the bottom of the second. First pitch swinging. Cam Hill pops one over. That's you, Max.
And it's going to get out of play, landing about the first row.
AAA Auto Glass foul ball off the bat of Cameron Hill from Illinois State, center fielder for the Thrillbillies. Played in last night's game, went 0 for 3, struck out 3 times. On my score sheet, it's 0 for 3. As he gets a called strike, he's down in the count 0-2. The official score did not give him credit for a sacrifice bunt in the 8th inning. There's a ground ball to short, charging and throwing on the run is Parker McDonald. Nice play there.
Made that look smooth. Lock him up. Smooth criminal. Parker McDonald at short. Had to throw cross body, moving to his left, threw back to the right side, and made it look easy. And I gotta say, the Rhythm just have an extra element of sharpness to them today on this Sunday afternoon.
Our first game after an overnight trip in Full Count Rhythm history. Carl Peters steps in, the left fielder. He has one just whistle by his leg. Didn't even move that leg out of the way. Fouls that one off. Count goes 1 ball, 1 strike. I don't know, Max, I think a ball could actually come over
and land in
the fence, and if it's hit just right, we better be heads up in here. We might have to bring a glove next time we come. Another foul ball, AAA Auto Glass, right back to the screen, straight back. Again, apparently video is not working very well. Amy Travis has tuned us in. Amy, the mother of Harrison Travis. 4-year player or coach with Full Count. Swing and a miss and a roof store. First K of the ball game for Chet Lax. It's out number 2.
Coming to the plate for the Thrillbillies shortstop, number 2.
Roof store, the barn store. I might say the barn store every once in a while. Steve Barrios should have never told me that they were together, really. But Steve Barrios, longtime supporter of Full Count Ministries and Full Count Rhythm, as Lax gets another swing and a miss by Caleb Herbert. Toledo University, the Toledo
Rockets?
I think that's right. Lots of deep drive out to left field, sends Andrew Hunt back. Now he comes back in and must have got off the handle. And there's a 1-2-3 inning as Hunt makes the catch. He sounded loud here.
Yeah, I mean, that's happened a couple times today, but, the wooden bats and this park is massive, so some of those balls are just going to go to die in the corner outfield.
We'll take a break and be right back for the third.
At Country Financial, we're more than just an office you may pass by as you drive through town. We're a part of your community and help support the programs that make our neighborhoods thrive. We take the time to get to know our clients. We know that every situation is unique, and our goal is to understand yours so that we can help you be confident about your financial security and your future. Call your local Country Financial representative, William Stiles, today at 615-824-7020 to talk about how we can help ensure the future you're dreaming of is something you can proudly own no matter what it looks like.
We all think about our home's yards, gutters, floors, and so much more. When was the last time you thought about your sprinkler system? That's where Music City Fire Sprinkler steps in. It may shock you that in-home sprinkler systems are discreet and affordable. Let the experts at Music City Fire Sprinkler tell you for themselves. Give them a call at 615-826-7450 or check them out on the web at mcfs.us. That's Music City Fire Sprinkler, proud sponsor of the Full Count Rhythm.
Let's get back to Full Count Rhythm baseball action on the Full Count Broadcast Network.
Full Count Rhythm baseball. Gotta love it. Our audio-only broadcast, other than the video of the broadcasters. Tim Reese, that's Max Keller right over there, our broadcast intern from the University of Miami. He's actually a Nashville born. You are born in Nashville, is that right?
First in my family.
All right, Max Keller of the Killer Kellers.
There we go.
I'm just kidding. His father's a lawyer, okay?
Anti-killing. Just to be clear on the record.
Keller. Lawson T, Ramey Harrison, and Joe Watkins do up here in the third. Ground ball up the middle, off the mound, and gloved by Herbert. Throw over to first base. Herbert's been busy today.
Yeah, but he's looked good out there. I mean, yesterday they had a different guy out there in Charlie Ison McCall who played a great glove at short. So what a luxury here for Ralph Santana to have a couple smooth infielders to play that shortstop position.
Well, Josh Griffin, the second baseman for Thrillville, is known to several people probably who are Full Count Rhythm fans, as Ramey Harrison swings and fouls that one off to the Thrillbillies dugout. AAA auto glass foul ball. Josh Griffin is the shortstop for Trevecca Nazarene University. He's from right here in Marion, Illinois. Played 2 years of Volunteer State Community College down in Gallatin. That's where I first met Josh, and he's playing second base in today's ball game. But he will move between second and short. Harrison, another AAA auto glass foul ball. The count goes 1 ball and 2 strikes. See that Mario Gonzalez is checked in, and he says go Rhythm. Mario, one of the Full Count Ministries international staff. Harrison continues to foul off Jacob Hustet pitches. Alex Montiel, Heidel Rubio, David Zeladon. Mario Gonzalez is our Honduras ministry director. Wilmer Lopez down in Mazante, he's also a D group leader. There's ground ball to Griffin, 1 hop as he charges that and throws on to Lindsey for out number 2. It's Arsenio Rodriguez, Norbin Gutierrez, Reeder Meneses, Carolina Martinez. Everybody's favorite is Carolina. I didn't even know her last name was Martinez, but she is the team chef, the most vital and important member of the entire international staff. You ask anybody who's been down there, she's number 1. And Alex and the rest of the crew, they're nice people, but they can't cook like Miss Carolina. 2 outs, Joe Watkins stands in. Reached on an error by Herbert earlier, and he's going to give him another chance. The 3-hopper to Herbert. He gloves, and they're going to say he kept his foot on the base, Jackson Lindsey. Let's see if Josh Carman wants to chat about that. He's not coming out of the dugout. Lindsey had to dive toward the outfield side, and I thought maybe Herbert was not going to be able to throw Joe Watkins out, but a 1-2-3 inning. And we will head to the bottom of the third. Let's keep it right here. We're going to talk about the Full Count Ministries staff. Josh Carman is the director of Full Count Baseball. Reed Glover, director of Full Count Ministries. Neglected to talk about the Spates family, Adam and Charlie Spates, and their sons. The youngest, JP, and, wow, I'm vapor locking. I know I should never do this. Addison, there we go. Addison is their oldest son. And they are finishing up, I think, this summer, their international portion of their ministry. They've been in Chinandega, Nicaragua for ago, 4 years, maybe 5 years. They're originally from Alabama, and God led them to the Full Count Ministries and led them to become international missionaries in Chinandega, learned the language, and now speak it very, very well. They are going to come back, I understand, to Birmingham and be missionaries in country. I think also to help Jeff Newman, who is the current head of Full Count Ministries in Birmingham. He's at least the Full Count baseball director that handled the high school fall league. He is the father of Jacob Newman, who is a Full Count rhythm pitcher. But so we want to thank all these folks, and I'll get to the board of directors here as soon as I can. Another very important group of people. If you don't know the Full Count Ministry story, I'm not sure if it's written online or not, but if it's not, it should be. It probably is on the Full Count Ministries website. Chet Lax back out for inning number 3. He's going to face 9-1-2. That is Josh Griffin leading off, and he swings and fouls that pitch off. I think that gets out of play. I'm blocked by a concrete post to my right, so Max is my eyes over there to the right as far as he can see. Griffin now with a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Lax gets another AAA autoglass foul ball. Josh Griffin came down to Ball State. Aiden Gibson putting his hands up as apparently a nice catch in the stance. He was giving accolades to whoever made that grab. 1-2 count. Josh Griffin fouls another one to the screen. This is not a souvenir.
Vol State kind of rings a bell. I think they have a pretty good play-by-play guy that does some stuff for them. I mean, one of the best in the business, I've heard.
Pitch just outside. Full Count Rhythm gave me my first taste of broadcasting back in the summer of 2021, and I had to go find another place that would let me continue that post-retirement gig. And head coach Jim McGuire over at Volunteer State and athletic director Bobby Hudson signed off on it. I've been the Vol State broadcaster for baseball for 3 years. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Griffin, and he has worked the count Full Count Ministries full count. Board president of Full Count Ministries is Nathan Davenport, vice president John Smithson. And a full count first pitch foul ball off the bat of Griffin. Slick fielding shortstop. After Volunteer State, he went to Trevecca Nazarene, where Josh Carman is an assistant coach. Full count pitch, changed him up, and a soft liner. That's a broken bat. Soft liner that is caught by Parker McDonald. What was that on the miles per hour? It was slow. Griffin had to really wait for that one. But he hits a soft line drive to the shortstop for out number 1.
Yeah, it's almost a little bit of like an illusional trick right there, because when the bat breaks, it goes flying. So your first step is quick. You react to the first object in the air, but then you gotta slow yourself down for the lineup.
Back to the top of the lineup, Brendan Brock, who grounded out on the first pitch he saw. A hard-hit ground ball that Chet Lax was able to snag. And he gets the first strike in there. That next pitch is down in the dirt. Jackson Cothran started to go after it twice, and then instead he said, Chet, you get it. I think maybe, was he looking for the ball boy, bat boy to go get there?
That's a rarity. Usually pitchers are not expected to do
They're coddled,
much.
aren't they? That's what you want to say.
That's what I wanted to say. They're like the hockey player who never gets in the fights. The big guys do it for him.
Popped up to the right side.
It's going to go foul deep onto the track over there, over by where I see some people playing cornhole.
I mean, it actually is a track that's painted on the
it looks like a racetrack
mezzanine level over there.
Something you'd see out of Cars or something.
One of my grandson Eli's favorite shows. There's a slow roller to third base, cut off. Ramey Harrison's not going to be able to get the leadoff batter, Brendan Brock, the catcher who runs well. That is a chopper down to third base. Parker McDonald would not have had an easier play, I don't think. That's Ramey Harrison's first play at third base. But an infield single with one out puts Brock on first, and Michael Milot, who is 4 for 5 in the series. A couple doubles, a single, and a home run stands in. He had what ended up being a sun in my eyes double out to right field in the first. Changeup misses outside. Chet Lax in his third inning of work. Great start by Zane Brown in yesterday's contest. 5 innings, 2 runs, only 1 earned, only walked 2, and that was what I circled on my score sheet.
Seems like that was as that pitch goes in there for strike 2, I believe. Actually going to make the count even at 1-1, but that's kind of what the coaching staff here has been preaching about, really getting those walks down. Oh,
they got him picked off. They're not going to be able to get him at second, though. Von Dolan had trouble getting that out of his glove, and Brendan Brock had a great jump, so stolen base for Brock.
Well, that's one of those situations where I think Chet Lax's first reaction was to throw to first, but if he had kind of started going at the runner, maybe they would have set that up. By the time that ball got transferred over to Von Dolan, it was kind of already over.
Swing and a miss by Milot.
And now you got a runner in scoring position for the most dangerous hitter on this Thrillbilly team. A huge spot here for Chet Lax in the early 3-0 ball game.
Got an email from Susie and or Bruce Duell as that ball gets away from Cawthorn. He's going to throw on the run down to third base, but Brock is going to slide in there. He'll reach third on a wild pitch. Let's get the field mic on here, Tim. One of the plates that we spin here is trying to keep up with our microphones, at least. We don't have too many. We got one camera. That's on the computer. Another nice block there by Jackson Cawthorn. The count goes to a Full Count Ministries full count. Susie and or Bruce asked about whether or not we can ask about the plate view, the camera view on PLTV. We'll see as that ball's hit off the glove of Lax, and Parker McDonald tried to barehand and throw on to first base, but he could not. Lax got a glove on it. That's 2 balls that have come up to pitcher's mound quickly. Josh Carmen out of the dugout to check on Chet. Base umpire, I believe that's Preston Childers, will come over and check with Brett as well. But infield single for Milot as he continues his mastery of rhythm pitching. Gets an RBI single that scores Brock. It's a manufactured run. An infield single by Brock. Stolen base, wild pitch, and an infield single by Milot. Jack Porter stands in. He flew out to center field in the first. So Thrillville gets one of them back. There's a line drive right to Andrew Hunt in left field. He makes the catch for out number 2. Porter hit that one on the button.
Yeah, well, nowadays with the modern baseball analytics, we know that there is a way to track correlation between the velocity off the bat and the expected batting average, and that's one of those that you hit that almost anywhere else and you probably have extra bases, but hit it to right, or hit it to the exact spot that Andrew Hunt was positioned in left.
Jackson Lindsay looks at ball 1. He walked in the first. Lefty on lefty matchup. Just goes to show you how different an inning could be. Chet Lax could be out of this inning right now if he had actually gotten the pick off of Brendan Brock at first base, but he had him picked, but Brock got to second before the throw. There's a ground ball. One hop that Brett Von Dolan backhands, and he'll saunter over to first base and step on the bag for out number 3. But 1 run on 2 hits. No errors, one runner left on base. We are through 3, a third of the way done with this ball game, and 3-1 the Rhythm lead. Again, want to thank all these folks that volunteer their time with a ministry that's been in existence since 2010. And that is our board of directors, Nathan Davenport, board president, John Smithson, vice president. Other board members are Brandon Jaggers, Chad Lamberth, Todd Hunley, Chad Hutton, Dave Lamarb, and Grant Edwards. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 of those board members were the original 7 members that started Full Count Ministries, along with Jeff Parsons and Ryan McDuffie. Here are some names. You're going to see some of those. Brandon Jaggers owns Jaggers Construction. You'll see that on the logo. Chad Lamberth owns Old Hickory Bats. We got to get their logo up on our wall there as well. Todd Hunley, of course, owns Chick-fil-A of Rivergate. Let's get that down. Dave Lamar, 38 years, I believe, as the director of Hendersonville City Parks and Recreation. Grant Edwards, who is one of the top dogs for Course and Fire in Nashville, Tennessee. Chad Hutton, I don't think I've met Chad Hutton. I've heard his name. I believe he's a pastor or is in ministry in some form or fashion. John Smithson is a mortgage broker with Bank of Tennessee. Nathan Davenport owns his own company. I don't know the name of it, but Nathan Davenport has a great story. Actually, God is the one who stirred his heart originally, what then turned into Full Count Ministries. Maybe at a home game, we will get Nathan on to tell about the start of Full Count Ministries. It's a great story, and I've heard it a couple of times, and I tear up every time I hear it. Nathan has trouble telling the story as well, so maybe that's part of it, but we'll try to get him on at some point. We move to the top of the 4th, and we have a pop out to the second baseman by Aiden Gibson to lead off the 4th. Still Jacob Hustet on the mound for Thrillville, and another first pitch swinging is Jackson Cawthorn. He fouls that one at the plate. He had an infield single, drove in 2 runs, Max. That's a pretty good efficiency.
I'd say that's one of your easiest ways to get 2 RBIs.
He hit one off the glove of Hustet. Looks at a called strike on the inside corner. Cawthorn from Ohio University. He's from Siegel High School, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Played 2 years at Motlow State. He's going to foul that one off. Like off-speed pitch, 80 miles an hour. Hard to see the miles per hour out there with the sun shining here at 83 degrees as we started play today.
And even if you could, according to Ryan Sweeney, it's about 2 miles an hour slow.
Changeup misses down, and Jackson Cawthorn had to make sure everybody in the Mountain Dew Park knew that was down, kind of pointed down. There's a shot to the left. That squeaks underneath the glove of Josh Griffin. I said to the left. It's actually to the right, but it was to the left of Josh Griffin, who tried to slide over and get that one, but it just snuck underneath his glove. I would assume that is a single. I'm going to write it in my book.
I mean, it sounded loud enough off the bat to be a single.
Josh Griffin will tell you right now he should have had it. That is 2 for 2 day for Jackson Cawthorn as Brett Von Dolan stands in. He struck out in his first plate appearance, and look at a called strike that winks at the outside corner as it went by in the left-handed batter's box. Cawthorn now with 3 hits on the season. He's doubled his total coming into today's game. That pitch a little bit too far into the left-handed batter's box. Ball and a strike. Ground ball in the hole at short. He'll go 5 to 4 to 3, and that will retire the side. Nice turn by Josh Griffin at second base as he was fed a nice throw from Bryson Arnett. And they were able to turn the double play and get out of the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on base. We are through 3.5 innings.
We're cruising here.
Yeah. Try to get on that bus quick. Get a win, get on the bus, and get home. We'll be right back after this break.
United Machine and Tool has been manufacturing the highest quality projects for a wide variety of industries for over 35 years. We deliver high-quality CNC machine components and fabrication projects from prototype to production. United Machine and Tool is committed to quality and excellence in the manufacturing industry. We're located in Goodlettsville, Tennessee. Check us out on the web at umttn.com for any manufacturing need. That's United Machine and Tool, a proud sponsor of the Full Count Rhythm.
Hey, I've been thinking, bank fees can seem pretty cruel. Well, they did until I went to Volunteer State Bank. I found a bank with a local personalized service and free checking. Yeah, may I present to you Kasasa. Now, it's kind of like my checking account is paying me instead of the other way around. Visit one of our 11 locations or anywhere you have a phone. Real people, real solutions, right here. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Let's get back to Full Count Rhythm Baseball action on the Full Count Broadcast Network.
Welcome back to Marion, Illinois. We're at Mountain Dew Park for the second game of the 2-game set against Thrillville Thrillbillies. They have been lax on... I haven't been Chet lax. I've just been lax on my viewing of our posts on Facebook. We are broadcasting on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Todd Neals sent in a post talking about Miss Carolina as the MVP. He knows. He's been on several mission trips down to Nicaragua. Played by the third base coach down there. It's their head coach, yeah, Ralph Santana. Wearing his helmet. Doesn't really like to wear a lid much, does he? He's handling third base coaching duties. Bryson Arnett fouls the first pitch and the second pitch.
Arnett has a pretty big frame there in that left-handed batter's box as a righty. Or the right-handed batter's box. That's why they call it that way. Well, get you twisted up.
Yeah, you call it that way because you're looking at it from pitcher's mound. A shot down the left field line. That will take one hop and go into the grassy area. Oh, look at that little guy right there. That guy probably can't be 5 or 6, and he must have handed it off to maybe a smaller sibling. Looks like maybe 2 years old. 0-2 pitch is high from Chet Lax. Out for his 4th inning of work. Brand new to the Rhythm lineup is Chet Lax. He's been on the roster, but late arriver. Just as Zane Brown was actually late getting on the roster.
I mean, how about that? The 2 guys that kind of showed up a little bit later have been huge so far in this road stint.
Another pitch down in the dirt. The count will go full. I say dirt, that's actually artificial turf all the way around here. There is not a piece of dirt or grass out here. Full count pitch, grounded up to shortstop. Parker McDonald gets a nice hop, but the throw is offline. That'll be an E6 that allows Arnett to reach. So both shortstops have committed an error in the ball game. That was a nice, easy hop right there. McDonald, just an off throw there to Von Dolan. That brings up Cam Hill, who grounded out to McDonald, who had to range into the hole and also charge it a bit on a slow high hopper and threw on the run to get Hill. And he swings and misses the first offering he sees from Lax, like a changeup, 75 miles an hour. I have no biographical information on Lax in terms of grandparents. I think we might have had somebody who's checked in as that pitch misses. Josh Cothran watching on Facebook says, let's catch some fire as his son's 2 for 2. Chandler Phelps also popped up should be playable. Brett Von Dolen over in foul territory, and he will make the catch as he has to fade back toward the field of play, but makes the catch in foul territory. Jackson Cawthorn looked like he put his right hand up like he was thinking maybe somebody was going to come from his right. Did you notice that?
I did notice that. I've also noticed just how communicative and kind of willing Cawthorn is to use his body in communication out there. Really a fun guy to watch. I mean, just an athlete. Really pops up quickly there behind home plate.
Third year with the full count rhythm. There's a throw over to first base. That's pretty close to a Bach move that Chet Lax has.
I think he got caught halfway between.
Bryson Arnett leading off of first base. Chet Lax, the left-handed pitcher, looking right at him, and he delivers changeup or breaking pitch off speed. They're checked to swing. They did check down at first base, who said he did not go. Rebecca Payton is checked in. She says, "Let's go, Rhythm." She's an intern this summer. Called strike on the outside corner to number 7, Carl Peters, the left fielder. He struck out, the only strikeout of the ball game for Chet Lax. Thrillville with 3 hits in the ball game. There's another throw over to first. They play the, let me turn that up. They're playing a chicken bok bok. Not sure what that's supposed to mean, honestly, when you throw over, but the second time I've heard it.
I think as that one goes in there for a strike, I think that's supposed to be saying that the pitcher's a chicken for not wanting to come home with the pitch.
That's the only thing I can think of, but it doesn't seem right.
And I'll tell you what, it's not going to bother the pitcher very much at all, because, you know, nowadays in the MLB they started limiting that, but still here in college baseball and summer baseball, you can check over as much as you want.
You can throw over all you want. You can only step off once, though, per at-bat. Call it disengagement. Breaking pitch smoked down the third base line, but it goes foul. It'll carry him out to Andrew Hunt. J.D. Price will go out and fetch that one. Andrew wants to throw that one into the crowd, and he does. I guess he's seen that other people do it, so might as well let the kids love on him a little bit. Pitch goes high. We'll have another Full Count Ministries Full Count. If you have a favorite verse and you want to send me an email, send it to treesports@gmail.com. We'll take a look at your entries. Todd Neal has sent one in already. It's off the end of the bat and will go foul. AAA auto glass that was gloved by Brett Von Dolen.
Carl Peters here from Littleton, Colorado. Webster University is where he spent his last season, but he originally started at the College of San Mateo. And at Webster, he had a pretty good year. 9 home runs, 32 RBIs, batted over 300.
Littleton, Colorado is a suburb of Denver. Strike 3 called. A roof store strikeout as Peters goes down looking this time. Second roof store strikeout for Chet Lax, and he's got Carl Peters' number. Caleb Herbert, the Rocket from the University of Toledo, or Toledo University. Not sure actually which one it is. I think it's Toledo U. Up there with the Mud Hens. Fouls the first pitch off. He flew out to left field to end the second. Jordan Keller checked in earlier and says hello to the Full Count Rhythm and Max Keller from the Netherlands.
That is Pops checking in on air from Amsterdam.
This can't hide money. Jordan Keller's your father's name, huh?
Jordan.
I'm going to go.
J. Simon. Middle name after Paul Simon.
Really?
Yep.
Well, that's better than being George Garfunkel Keller.
I'll have to let him know that.
Caleb Herbert is a throw over to first. This time, Lack stepped off the back of the rubber. 2 balls and a strike to the Thrillville shortstop. Almost a quick pitch there as Lax got to his set position and then drove to the plate, but pitch was high. 3 balls and a strike with Josh Griffin standing on deck. That's where you want to leave him. 2 outs. They're going to do it, hopefully, unless it gets in the sun. Fly ball out to right field. Watkins looks like he's got this one, and he does. The last one he got lost up in the sun, but this one ends up in the glove. And after a leadoff error, Chet Lax leaves Bryson Arnett there at first base. No runs, no hits, 1 runner left on base. We are through 4, and get ready for Max Keller, because Max Keller is going to be on the mic for the play-by-play for the top of the 5th inning, folks. You will enjoy it, I'm sure. We'll be right back on the Full Count Broadcast Network.
Don't strike out at your next party. Order the food that will get your crowd cheering. Chick-fil-A of Rivergate. We have many catering options available, from our Chick-fil-A nugget trays to our original Chick-fil-A sandwiches to our chocolate chunk cookies and fudge brownies. We have something for everyone. Order online at chickfil-a.com or call the store at 615-851-4007.
Rhythm Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram knocks it out of the park with Nashville's best selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs. Plus, all new vehicles come with a Rhythm exclusive lifetime warranty. Unlimited time, unlimited miles, no additional charge. That's a home run. Find your new Chrysler Dodge Jeep or Ram in Madison, just 10 minutes north of Nashville.
If you've got a dream, then we've got you covered. Rhythm Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram is like no other.
Let's get back to Full Count Rhythm Baseball action on the Full Count Broadcast Network.
We welcome you back here in Marion, Illinois, where the Full Count Rhythm are taking on the Thrillville Thrillbillies. The Thrillbillies coming in at 3-1 and the Rhythm at 2-3. Last night, the Full Count Rhythm struggled offensively, only scored 1 run. That came in the last half of the 9th inning at the top of the 9th. And they dropped that game 3-1, but today has been a much better story offensively, as the Rhythm were able to jump on Jacob Husted, who will come out of the game, and it'll be a new arm on the mound here in the top of the 5th inning for Thrillville, and it's going to be Matthew Derrick, a Nashville, Tennessee native, a right-hander who spent his last season at John A. Logan, a sophomore. 6'2", 200 pounds on the mound for Thrillville, and up to bat for your Rhythm is going to be Parker McDonald, who walked in his first at-bat, has committed an error at shortstop in the field, and he gets ready to step into the batter's box. It's a righty from Samford University. He was a conference player of the year back in high school and a top 1,000 ranked player in the country, and had a limited sample size at Samford in the spring, but here in the summer, ready to make an impact. He's already been on base once. It's the first batter that Derrick will face. He comes home with the pitch, and it's high for ball 1.
This is Derrick's 2nd appearance of the year. I'm not sure if you said that. I was having a conflab with Fozzie, our helper up here, and tried to let him know or check to see if they knew about the fuzziness of the video. So he said they did know about it, and they were trying to work on it, but probably not going to happen.
The count is even at 1-1 as Derrick has the glove at belt high and goes home with the pitch. It's fouled off the hands to the right side by McDonald, and that one probably would have been high and inside, but McDonald committed to the swing and fouls it off to stay alive. It's a 1-2 count as Derrick lets that right arm hang down, awaits the call from his catcher, and gathers himself on the bump. Comes home with the pitch, and this one is ripped down the line by McDonald. It would have been extra bases, but it's foul on the grass, and some of those kids over there are really starting to turn a profit if they start selling those baseballs after the game. But I think they're going to keep them for memory's sake.
It's that nice grassy area, just like SEC tournament has down at the Hoover Met in Hoover, Alabama.
And that one is ripped just
Get out
to
of the way.
Same exact spot. There's a kid over there, really doesn't seem to care, but
he about took that one in the chops.
yeah, you learn that lesson really quickly. You got to learn it once. But Parker McDonald just has to straighten that swing out, and he has something to work with. Still a 1-2 count. Derek comes home with the pitch, and this time it's hit to the left side and on the grass again. And Parker McDonald should buy a lottery ticket, because I don't think if he tried to do it again, he could hit 3 balls in the same spot in a row.
AAA Auto Glass foul balls aplenty over there in the grassy knoll.
3 in a row for AAA Glass. The 1-2 is on the outside corner. McDonald doesn't like it, but it's a backwards K. And the first strikeout of the day in the first at-bat on the mound for Matthew Derrick.
Derrick was tired of throwing curveballs inside to Parker McDonald, having them drilled out to the left field grassy area, so he decided to throw one on the outside corner for a called strike 3.
Derrick starts the way he would like and starts this next at-bat the same way with a strike. Gets up 0-1 on Andrew Hunt, who has a single and a strikeout so far today. The rhythm started off strong as the pitch is low and away for ball 1. The rhythm scored 1 run in the top of the first and then 2 runs off of a fielder's choice in the top of the second inning. And the 1-1 is just high for ball 2. That was a fielder's choice off the bat or a single by Jackson Cawthron. Excuse me.
Had that infield single off the pitcher's glove.
There was an RBI by Ramey Harrison on a fielder's choice in the top of the first. As the pitch is yanked down and away. Count goes to 3-1. Hunt is a righty facing the righty Derrick on the mound, who has the glove at the belt, kicks and fires, and this one's going to go back up the middle. It's going to be a tough play for the shortstop, who fires on. The throw was offline, but it looks like Jackson Lindsay was able to apply the tag for the out. Jackson Lindsay caught that one down the first baseline and had to reach back behind him to tag the upper thigh of Andrew Hunt for the out. Nonetheless, 2 down here in the top of the 5th.
Both first basemen have been busy at first base trying to make catches from their infielders and make plays.
So a lefty comes into the box, the first one that Derrick will face, and it's a strike right down the middle to Jacob Tobias, the center fielder for the Rhythm, who is 1 for 2 today. The pitch is fouled back, dribbled all the way to the netting, and the ball boy for the Thrillbillies will come out of the dugout to snatch that one up. If you're just joining us, the Rhythm lead 3-1, and they have created some offense, which they struggled to do last night. 2 outs, nobody on. Here's the pitch, and it is down low for ball 1.
They do have a pretty good camera, Trish. She checked in and talking about how we could change some duties and maybe get something fixed. That high home camera that they're relying on, I don't think anybody can touch it. I'm not sure exactly where it's pointed or where it's physically located.
The 1-2 nearly hits Tobias, but it's going to be an even 2-2 count with 2 outs. 2's across the board.
Son of Steve and Robin Tobias. Grandpa and Grandma in Birmingham and Grammy in Chattanooga might be listening in.
Tobias was a freshman at Lipscomb in the spring. Here's the pitch, and it same exact spot. Tobias does not get hit, but has to turn that front shoulder on back-to-back pitches from Derrick, who is really crowding the zone.
The man with 2 names, Matthew Derrick, 2 first names.
Everybody has 2 names, but he's got 2. That's not true.
That's not unless you're Pele or Ronaldo.
Or Ichiro.
Ichiro.
There goes the ground ball to second, and that will be the end of the top of the fifth. Jacob Tobias grounds out, and the Rhythm are unable to do anything off of Matthew Derrick. It's a 1-2-3 inning. And we'll take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back for the bottom of the fifth right here for the Full Count Rhythm.
If you didn't know, the Full Count Rhythm is part of the organization called Full Count Ministries. Full Count's mission is to give every baseball player the opportunity to hear the gospel, respond to the gospel, and grow in the relationship with Jesus. With Full Count, you could lead by discipling the next generation by using our resources, or you could go on international mission trips. For more of what we do, check out our website at fullcountministries.com or our pages on Instagram and Facebook.
Safeware is there when response is critical, assisting in the classroom as you shape the future of America, helping you build roadways and infrastructure for tomorrow. With protective solutions, innovative technology, and leading technical services, Safeware works tirelessly to provide our nation's workforce with confidence in their safety. Before, during, and after, Safeware is there.
And we're back for the bottom of the fifth inning here in Marion, Illinois. I'm Max Keller alongside Tim Reese as the Rhythm turn the ball over to Pedro Pulliam, a righty who will take the ball from Chet Lax, who went 4 innings pitched to start this game, only allowed 1 earned run, and that is back-to-back nights where the Rhythm get a quality start from their starting pitcher. But Pedro Pulliam now gets warmed up on the mound. He's a righty who spent his freshman year at Southwest Community College. He's 5'11", 195 pounds from Memphis, Tennessee. And the call to the bullpen is brought to you by Safeware. Went to high school at Whitehaven and had a 5.3 ERA in 35 2/3 innings pitched at Southwest Community College.
He started in 10 out of the 12 games that he appeared in, had a 2-2 record, 35-plus innings of work, had 42 strikeouts. And he is staying in the host home of Tim and Susan Reese along with Andrew Perry.
And now I know why I like him so much. I mean, just anything that Tim Reese gets an opportunity to be around feels like you're going to enjoy being around that person. So Josh Griffin comes up for his second at-bat of the day. The second baseman awaits the first pitch, hits it on the hands, and it's going to drop in right. A tough play, could be extra bases, but instead Griffin will hold up.
What a throw.
Thanks to Joe Watkins having a cannon out there in right, and also really good first step from Watkins, who has made up for losing that ball earlier in the game. But the first batter that Pulliam faces will reach on a single.
Josh Griffin just sliced that one into right field and just hit it in the right spot.
And, I mean, Pedro Pulliam really has the opportunity here to create a role as the first pitch is down the middle for a strike. I mean, the kid has so much energy, loves baseball. I mean, every time I've talked to him, he has been extremely nice and grateful to kind of welcome me to the team. I feel grateful, at least. And just a stand-up kid, as this breaking ball is called for a strike, which is something we didn't see last night from the first base umpire, Brad Wilson. When he was behind home plate, he wasn't giving anybody that backdoor breaking ball. So the count moves to 0-2 for Brendan Brock, the leadoff hitter for the Thrillbillies. Pulliam kicks and deals, and it's high for a ball. Count goes to 1-2.
This is Pedro's second appearance of the year for the Rhythm. First appearance did not go as well as he had hoped. He went an inning and a third. Josh Griffin.
I mean, he is toying with that leadoff as the next pitch from Pulliam is in the dirt for a ball, but a good job behind the plate by Cawthron to keep it in front. But, I mean, he is dancing out there at first.
Yeah, he would have gone if he had that big hop step and Pedro had gone to the plate.
Yeah, he's trying to time him up. Pulliam kind of peeking over that shoulder. Throws home.
Oh.
And just
misses. An umpire balk is what we call that, Max.
Yeah, I mean,
because he was about ready to pull the trigger.
That's been right in his strike zone all day long. He's been calling that pitch on the outside, specifically on the right side of the zone. So the count goes full for the full count ministry. Full count. Here's the pitch, and it's fouled off. Just kind of a late effort there from Brendan Brock to stay alive in the batter's box. And it's a righty-on-righty matchup. It's a beautiful day here in Marion, Illinois. A few clouds in the sky, but a gorgeous light blue sky, just like the color of the Rhythm jerseys today. The pitch is once again fouled off. We got ourselves quite a battle here between Pulliam and Brock.
Pulliam gave up a hit and 3 runs, which were earned because he walked 3 batters in that appearance. Might have had some nerves going. Hopefully he's settled down a little bit here as he's throwing strikes.
The payoff pitch is hit sharply to the shortstop. It's going to be a flip on to second, over to first, and a lob throw from Gibson is not in time. But McDonald to Gibson gets 1 out, and it will be a reaching on a fielder's choice for Brendan Brock. Runner stays on first with 1 out in the inning, and that's exactly what you want from Pedro Pulliam. Some ground balls, and if he gets another one, maybe the Rhythm will be able to turn 2. But here's a test for Pulliam. It's Michael Milot, the only player to hit a home run last night, and he has a double already today and a single. 2 for 2 as the righty steps in the box and takes the first pitch right down the middle. How about the hook on that breaking ball from Pulliam?
Yeah, Pedro's got that breaking pitch working for him today. I don't think that pitch was working for him. He had his home appearance back on Wednesday and struggled getting his pitches over the plate.
Runner on first, and the pitch is on the outside corner and would have been a strikeout for Brendan Brock last at bat, about the same pitch.
Milot didn't like that call right there. See if we see another hook here.
I'd go to it if I'm Pulliam. Here's the pitch, and it's in the dirt, and Cawthron lets it squeak on past him towards that Thrillbillies logo, which is sprayed onto the grass behind home plate, and the runner will take second base. That is Brendan Brock, who reached on a fielder's choice. So it's 3-1. Thrillville leads, and this count is, full count leads. 1-2, full count. Trying to bounce back after their 3-1 loss last night. Pulliam delivers the pitch, and it's hit into right field. Will they send the runner home? They do. The throw is on time, and Cawthron has to come back, but there's a play at second, and the throw from Cawthron is high. So 1 run scores, and Milot will reach second on a single, and he extends it on the throw home from Joe Watkins, who threw one to the right side of home plate. Cawthron had to go over and try to field the ball and meet the runner at home to apply the tag. And by the time that whole fiasco ended, Milot took off for second, and Cawthron's throw was high. So it is 3-2. Rhythm still lead, and a runner stands on second. With 1 out, Pulliam kicks and deals, and it's just low for a ball. The batter in the box is Jack Porter, who played his high school baseball at Father Ryan in Nashville. Porter is 0 for 2 today and is ahead in the count, 1-0. The pitch is nearly inside, almost hits him on the chest. 2-0 as Pedro Pulliam came into this game in relief for Chet Lax. And so far, he has allowed 1 run here in the bottom of the fifth, as this one is dribbled to the shortstop, who throws on to first. A great play there from Parker McDonald, who has made an error in this game, but He's able to connect with Brett Von Dolen for the second out, which makes the threat of Mylott standing on third just a little bit less scary, as Jackson Lindsay will have to get a hit in order to score Mylott.
Mylott's 3 for 3 in this ball game, was 3 for 4 in yesterday's game, 6 hits in the 1.5 games against the Rhythm.
Lindsay looks at a pitch in the dirt, but how about Jackson Cothran able to keep that ball in front of him and prevent a run from scoring?
Looked like that was a changeup from Pedro.
Pedro's been going with that fastball, curveball, and changeup mix so far in this outing on this Sunday afternoon. The 1-0 is in the same spot of the artificial turf to make the count 2-0. Pulliam steps back on the mound and kind of shakes his arms out, making sure he stays loose. The 2-0, also high.
Chet Lax went 4 innings, gave up 4 hits, 1 run. It was earned, walked 1, struck out 2 in his first outing with the Rhythm.
A very solid start for Chet Lax in this summer campaign of his. The pitch is in there for strike 1, so Pulliam starts his way back into this count where he fell behind 3 balls and no strikes, but the count is 3-1 now from the righty facing the lefty, Jackson Lindsay at the plate. The pitch is hit sharply to center field. Going back on it is Tobias, and he gloves it for the third out. So the threat is avoided with a runner left on third, but the Thrillville Thrillbillies are able to score 1 run off of 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. So we will go to a quick break before we come back for the top of the 6th inning. Don't go anywhere.
Is your home showing symptoms of foundation issues? Your home's wet basement, dingy crawl space, musty smells, cracked walls, or unlevel concrete shouldn't be ignored. Helitech can help. Life happens in your home. You and your family deserve the best. Helitech offers proven solutions in waterproofing, drainage, concrete leveling, and foundation repair services. Contact us for a free inspection at helitechonline.com.
When the water's high, we'll keep your basement dry. Heal your home with Helitech.
We are back after a short break there from Helitech. It's the Prospect League-wide sponsor. They're located in the Kentucky area, do waterproofing and foundation repair. We appreciate them being a league-wide sponsor. Right now we're going to get to our La Quinta Inn and Suites Alumni Spotlight. Today's alumni for Full Count Rhythm is a 2-year player, Spencer Wilkins, from Trevecca Nazarene University, where he played this past year and got in 15 games. 14 of them were starts. He's from Monticello, Georgia, the son of Mark and Lori Wilkins. Originally started out at Kennesaw State. He was there for a couple years, actually, before transferring to Trevecca, and had an excellent year, 4.14 ERA with the Trojans. 6-4 record, had a complete game, and he was originally slated to be one of the right-handers for Josh Carman here on the Rhythm squad, but 82 innings of work, and Braden Kale, the pitching coach over at Trevecca, said, I think we're going to shut you down for the summer. So here's Max Keller to bring you the top of the 6th.
Matthew Derrick remains on the mound for the Thrillbillies, as that breaking ball goes in there for strike 1, and that's just kind of a fun name to say, the Thrillville Thrillbillies. I mean, just a lot to say. But the pitch is yanked outside for Matthew Derrick, and it's a 1-1 count, as I will assure you to get that right the rest of the game. With the batter in the box being Lawson T., the DH for the Rhythm. He takes one high and outside for ball 2. It's a righty-on-righty matchup. Derrick on the bump gathers himself and comes home with the pitch.
Ooh, I was expecting a strike call on that one, weren't you, Max?
I thought so too, but the count goes to 3-1 as Lawson T is happy it was a ball. The righty in the box awaits the pitch and dribbles it right back up to the mound. The throw over to first is in time from Derek, and it will be a ground out to start the top of the 6th inning from Lawson T. And that'll bring up Ramey Harrison.
Lawson had a 3-for-5 game at Cape Catfish back on May 30th. Had 2 RBIs in Game 3. Then had a 1-for-5 outing against the Jackson Rockabillies at home, but has not had a hit since then.
Ramey Harrison rockets one towards the Thrillville dugout, but everybody's okay over there, and Harrison steps back into the batter's box, the lefty facing the righty Derek.
Saw a post earlier by Jeremiah Harrison. I believe that is his father. It says, "Let's go RG2." There we go. Back earlier on Facebook.
A pitch got away low in the dirt to make the count 1-1, and here's the 1-1 pitch. On the left corner, but outside for a ball. The Rhythm have 4 hits today, committed 1 error in the field, and the Thrillbillies have 5 hits, committed 2 errors in the field. The pitch also outside. 3-1. 1 out here in the top of the 6th with Ramey Harrison up to bat, who has an RBI on a fielder's choice and then was caught stealing later in his first appearance. The pitch is inside and hits Harrison on the shoulder. And he will take his base.
I think they ruled that a walk. I don't know if it hit him or not.
I thought that bounced off the shoulder, but I guess it was caught.
We'll check.
I think that was a walk now that you mention it. Maybe I'm just seeing things. But Joe Watkins will come up to bat, who had an awesome play in the field last half inning to keep a runner from advancing. He looks at a pitch on the outside corner for a strike, doesn't like it. That's been there all day for Brian Shaw. The home plate umpire has been calling that pitch on the right side of the plate a strike. Runner on first. The 0-1 is in there for a strike, and Watkins has to adjust. Try to stay alive here. Watkins waves the hands, gets the pitch, and swings right through it for a strikeout. For the second out of the inning. And the Rhythm have slowly gone cold at the plate, where they have scored 3 runs so far in this game, but their lead has been cut down to 1. They lead the Thrillbillies 3-2. Ramey Harrison gets his lead, and the pitch from Derek is in the zone for a strike. 0-1 count, 2 outs. I love the kicks at home plate from from Aiden Gibson, wearing the Jordan cleats, swings over one to make it 0-2. The overall color scheme for the Rhythm is fun to look at today. The Thrillbillies wearing yellow tops, as the pitch has a nasty hook to it, and I'm not sure that the home plate umpire Brian Shaw was ready for it, but I think it stayed inside for a ball. So the correct call made. Count moves to 1-2. The pitch is fouled back over our heads here in the broadcast area. Watkins is a junior from UAB. From Alabama. He was a Lawson State transfer before coming to UAB. He had 12 at-bats last season. The pitch nearly hits him in the leg, and they're going to say it does, as Watkins moves over to second and Gibson takes first on the hit by pitch. So whether the the first one was or wasn't, which it was not. I finally do get the hit by pitch I was calling for, as Matthew Derrick has been living on the inside, nearly hitting several batters, and that'll bring up Jackson Cawthorn.
I finally pulled up the PLTV video feed, and I see exactly what you're talking about. It's like, okay, do I look at that with my reading glasses? I don't care what glasses you're going to look at it with. We couldn't use it for replay, that high home camera.
Derrick's pitch is on the outside corner. It's a ball to start off the count with Jackson Cawthorn. And if you can't enjoy the game visually, then let us paint a picture for you here in Marion, Illinois.
They do have one camera that's a handheld camera that is over at first base that they're using.
The righty kicks and deals to the lefty. It's in the top corner of the zone for a strike. Count goes even at 1-1. Cawthorn so far today is 2 for 2 with 2 singles and 2 RBIs. How about a great day at the plate for Jackson Cawthorn?
Got an opportunity right here.
He looks at one low and away. Count goes to 2-1. The runners on base are Ramey Harrison and Aiden Gibson for the Rhythm, who have 2 outs to work with, they have 2 outs already in the inning. That one finds the corner, but not to the liking of Jackson Cawthorn.
Cawthorn had a bases clearing double at home the other night. Picked up 2 more RBIs. He now has 5 on the season.
We await the 2-2. Here it is. Just misses, and I definitely envy Jackson Cawthorn for taking that pitch after it was called a strike just a few pitches ago. But
I think there was another umpire balk. He was about ready to ring up Jackson Cawthorn.
But instead we have a full count, Ministry full count.
With 2 outs, the runners will be off.
Here's the payoff pitch. And it's swung on and missed. How about a great pitch there to put away Jackson Cawthorn. So the Thrillbillies avoid danger here in the top of the 6th by stranding 2 base runners. And the Rhythm are unable to score any runs off of the walk and hit by pitch. So we'll go to the bottom of the 6th. Don't go anywhere. We got a game on our hands.
If you didn't know, the Full Count Rhythm is part of the organization called Full Count Ministries. Full Count's mission is to give every baseball player the opportunity to hear the gospel, respond to the gospel, and grow in the relationship with Jesus. With Full Count, you could lead by discipling the next generation by using our resources, or you could go on international mission trips. For more of what we do, check out our website at fullcountministries.com or our pages on Instagram and Facebook.
Safeware is there when response is critical, assisting in the classroom as you shape the future of America, helping you build roadways and infrastructure for tomorrow. With protective solutions, innovative technology, and leading technical services, Safeware works tirelessly to provide our nation's workforce with confidence in their safety. Before, during, and after, Safeware is there.
We go to the bottom of the 6th here in Marion, Illinois at Mountain Dew Park, where the Thrillville Thrillbillies trail the Rhythm 3-2. Pedro Pulliam remains on the mound. Came out last inning in relief for Chet Lax and has allowed 1 run so far. He'll face the third baseman, Bryson Arnett, up to bat in the 5-hole, who has reached on an error, but is 0 for 1 on the day. Arnett is a righty facing the righty Pulliam. Pulliam gets us started with the pitch that's high and inside for a ball. Arnett, the batter, is from Hodgensville, Kentucky. Spent his last season at Lindenwood University, where he had transferred from Western Kentucky. The pitch is swung on and missed. Count goes to 1-1. Still a gorgeous day here on this Sunday afternoon. Pulliam kicks and deals. Yeah, that breaking ball will do. Right down the middle. A little get me over curveball. Makes the count 1-2 in the first at bat here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Arnett crowds the box and awaits the pitch. Here it is. It's hit sharply into the right center gap. And two Rhythm players are going to have to converge on it. Tobias ends up taking it. They're going to send Arnett for 3. The cutoff throw is not in time. It's a sliding triple for Bryson Arnett to start off the inning. And the Thrillbillies are threatening early to tie this ball game.
Arnett's first triple of the year.
And he was flying out there.
That ball rolled all the way to the wall out there in the 375 gap. Seems longer. It says 392 in the left center field gap, but 375, it rolled actually even a little farther to the left of that. So
the pitch is ripped into left field, and this single will tie the ball game. Before we could even gather ourselves, Cam Hill scores a runner with an RBI single. Pedro Pulliam has now allowed 2 runs since coming into the game, and Carl Peters is now up to bat. Two pitches hit on the screws. And here's the first one to Peters, which is down the middle for a strike. Count goes to 0-1.
that was Cam Hill's first RBI of the year.
Peters is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. He goes to lay down a bunt, pulls back, but it was a strike anyways, and Pulliam pounces to start this at-bat, getting ahead 0-2.
Not sure why you square around a bunt and don't even offer it a strike when you're already down in the count 0-1.
Definitely a head-scratcher. The 0-2 in the turf for a ball. Keep having to catch myself as used to dirt fields, but got the turf here at Mountain Dew Park. Peters waves the bat over his shoulder, awaits the pitch, and hits it sharply. This is an opportunity for 2, and they're just going to get 1. As McDonald flipped onto Gibson, this is one of the arguments against the turf, is sometimes the turf can be a little bit weird for footing and can cause some injuries. So luckily there, Aiden Gibson is okay after an awkward play, but the Rhythm will get out the lead runner to retire the first out here in the bottom of the 6th. And Pulliam kind of needed that one for momentum. Still has to deal with a runner on first.
Been a while since we've had a do-that double play, and I thought that was the best opportunity we had, but Aiden Gibson slipped either on the base or on the AstroTurf or the artificial turf right around the base. Could not even make a throw onto first.
The 0-1, the runner takes off. The throw from Cawthron goes into the outfield, and the runner will advance to third. So unfortunate, as Carl Peters is now standing 90 feet away from scoring a much-needed run to give the Thrillville Thrillbillies the lead. Still only 1 out in the inning.
Cawthron has had a little trouble throwing the ball down to second base. He has been errant with 3 throws, and they've been to the right side. It's almost like he's not following through. That was a swing and a miss in front of him, but I don't think interference at all.
Pulliam's pitch to Herbert is fouled off, and if you're Pulliam, you have to keep your head in and know that you're only 1 pitch away here from getting a strikeout. A much-needed one, as a lot of things here in play could score a run, but the Rhythm infield is playing up right on that infield grass, ready to attack if needed. The pitch is hit again, same foul spot, going back towards the visitors on the right side.
AAA Autoglass foul ball off to the right side. Thanks again to the Doris family for their support of Full Count Rhythm Baseball.
The 0-2 is high for a ball as Pulliam just kind of yanked that one, never got to follow through on the release. He steps back on the hill, leans forward, goes vertical with the glove at the belt, and he kicks and deals. The pitch is in the dirt, but Cawthron keeps it in front of him. And the count moves to 2-2. Still only one out. We have a tie ball game. It's been back-to-back innings with a run for the Thrillbillies. Trying to extend and get their first lead of the day. Pulliam's pitch swung on and missed. How about that? A huge strikeout. The roof store strikeout for Pedro Pulliam is a big one, as now everybody in the field can take a deep breath. Trying to hold that runner on third gets a lot easier now, but you still have to get through Josh Griffin, who singled his last time up. Pulliam's pitch to Griffin is yanked low and away for a ball, and that was a huge time for Pedro to get his first strikeout of the outing.
He's a strikeout pitcher. He just has had some control issues at times. Today he's been hit.
The 1-0 is high and outside.
He's given up 4 hits in his inning and 2/3 at this point.
Good crowd here on a Sunday afternoon. Obviously a big park, but a lot of Thrillbillies fans here for some summer baseball. The pitch is fouled back. Count moves to 2-1, and how can you blame them after the entertainment we saw last night? In case you missed it, we had somebody shot out of a cannon just behind second base on top of a net that was placed at home plate. And if you can't believe it, just go ahead and check out the stream from last night. Pulliam kicks and deals. It's another pitch high, and really right now for Pedro on that fastball that's sitting about 85 miles an hour, he hasn't been able to pull that one down into the zone. It's been a little bit inconsistent for number 17 on the mound, who's facing Josh Griffin, the righty. Griffin takes the pitch and hits it to center field. Tobias has a pretty good read on it, and he gloves the third out of the inning, but not before this ball game is now tied at 3, thanks to some big hits. 2 hits. Bryson Arnett tripled. Cam Hill scored him. So it's 2 hits, 1 run, no errors, and 1 left on base here at the end of the inning. We'll be back in the top of the 7th.
Corson Fire and Security first opened for business in 1946. From the very beginning, we understood something important. We're not just protecting buildings. We're protecting the dreams that built them. We're protecting the lives unfolding inside them. Fire extinguishers, sprinkler systems, and security products are the tools of our trade, but people are the inspiration behind it. For 7 decades, we've never forgotten that. Corson Fire and Security. Corson.com.
We all think about our home's yards, gutters, floors, and so much more. When was the last time you thought about your sprinkler system? That's where Music City Fire Sprinkler steps in. It may shock you that in-home sprinkler systems are discreet and affordable. Let the experts at Music City Fire Sprinkler tell you for themselves. Give them a call at 615-826-7450 or check them out on the web at mcfs.us. That's Music City Fire Sprinkler, proud sponsor of the Full Count Rhythm.
Let's get back to Full Count Rhythm baseball action on the Full Count Broadcast Network.
Tim Reese and Max Keller back for the final third of this ball game. Top of the 7th we go. Brett Von Dolan, Parker McDonald, and Andrew Hunt to face a Safeware call to the bullpen.
We have a new pitcher on the mound. It's going to be John Montaigne, a left-handed sophomore who spent his last season at John A. Logan. He's from Ashburn, Virginia. And so far on the season, he's got 1 1/3 innings pitched with a 13.5 ERA in a very, very, very small sample size, but he allowed 2 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned. Did strike out 1 batter. And here he comes into the game trying to keep the score where it is. And he'll have to deal with the pressure of keeping the rhythm off the board. But those bats have gone cold, and Tim, hopefully they can warm up.
He had 4 hits in the first 2 innings of work and only 1 since then. Matthew Derrick went 2 innings, gave up no hits, no runs, walked 1, struck out 3, did hit a batter as he got Jacob Hustet off the hook for the loss, and now new pitchers of record are John Montaigne and Pedro Pulliam. As if you weren't with us yesterday, the bullpens are out in right field, just on the other side of the right field fence. Rhythms is more down the right field line. Right next door is the Thrillville bullpen. As they are watching on, they are facing the sun as they look back toward home plate. Asked a couple different people what the capacity crowd could be here. They said they think the actual seated area is about 3,500, maybe can seat with standing room and other people around about 7,000 people here. Not even close to hitting those numbers as we sit here, as top of the 7th begins with a strike called to Brett Von Dolan. Montaigne delivered several to the backstop during his warm-up tosses. That pitch 1 hops in, and a nice 1-hopper caught by Brendan Brock. Carl Peters still in left, Cam Hill in center, Jack Porter in right, Bryson Arnett at third, Caleb Herbert at short, Josh Griffin at second, Jackson Lindsay at first. Brendan Brock can't glove that pitch thrown in by the left-hander John Montaigne. Montaigne, 6'2", 195-pounder from right down the road at John A. Logan College. Popped up. This might be playable. It will not, as Brock will come over and it'll hit on the roof right above us. The roof store. Maybe they might need Steve Barrios up here at Mountain Dew Park in Marion, Illinois. Barrios would come up. 2-2 pitch, and Von Dolan has to back away. He's 0 for 2, struck out in the second, grounded into a 5-4-3 double play in the 4th.
And it kind of looked like he almost talked himself out of wearing that pitch, but then kind of thought about maybe he would have done it differently.
He checks his swing there as that pitch falls low and inside for a leadoff walk from Montaigne. That'll bring up shortstop Parker McDonald.
He's 0 for 1 with a walk today and a strikeout.
Looks at a called strike. Jackson Jarvis, the third base coach for the Rhythm. Jimmy Gamboa down at first base. Montaigne doesn't even look at first base. McDonald fouls that AAA auto glass foul ball back to the screen.
Definitely interesting that Montaigne is fully comfortable just targeting home, but some guys, it's a more of a detriment to have them distracted by the runner on first than it is to try to get them focused at throwing strikes.
If I'm a base runner and I see a pitcher that doesn't even look at me and he's facing right at him, still has not looked at first base. Now that draws a look, and he delivers home.
He must have heard us up here in the booth.
Pitch misses outside. Again, I'm having trouble seeing that miles per hour out there in the bright sunlight that's out on the scoreboard in right center field.
They could definitely make that color a little darker.
1 ball, 2 strikes, delivered, drilled, caught by a diving Arnett, throws over to first base, it goes by, but bounces right back to Lindsay at first base. Von Dolan back in time, but a nice play by Parker McDonald. Put a star by that one. Take a picture and put it on a trading card at Fender's Collectibles.
Really good glove right there by Caleb Herbert off the bat of Parker McDonald. And how about the shortstop play so far for the Thrillbillies so far in this series? This 2-game series that we've had so far.
Back to the top of the lineup, Andrew Hunt.
Well, that's a pretty good name, Andrew Hunt. Feels like a baseball name.
Andrew's a good name. That bounces and gets by Brock. Von Dolan will stroll on down to second on the wild pitch. Now in scoring position for Hunt, who's 1 for 3. Singled and scored in the first. Struck out in the second, grounded out to short in the 5th. That pitch gets in there for a called strike. Fender's Collectibles, one of the companies who have advertised in our program. Those are free when you come to a home game. Appreciate Bert and Ellen Fennell. AAA Autoglass foul ball off the bat of Andrew Hunt. Now looking at a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Who's going to drive in that go-ahead run? Von Dolan reached on a walk after a line out to third base by Parker McDonald. Wild pitch has moved Von Dolan to second. Changeup misses upstairs from the left-hander from JAL. John A. Logan, they're known as the Vols. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah. Speaking of the Vols, they're playing right now against Southern Miss, and I wonder what the score is. But right now, fully dialed to full count. That's a walk. Oh, wait.
They're going to call that a strikeout.
I'm so
wow.
Sorry. I can't believe I misspoke.
The ball nearly hit Andrew Hunt, but he's going to go down with another backward K in the books. First strikeout for Montaigne and the second out of the inning. I thought he was saying that it hit him, but Andrew Hunt had to do an about face, head back to the third base dugout. Jacob Tobias, and he's going to take one right in the back as Tobias gets plunked. They got hit by pitches on here. I think Jacob's been hit by a few times. That is his third plunking of the year. I think he had 2 in one game. So that puts runners at first and second. And Lawson T, the number 3 hole hitter, who's 0 for 3, he is due.
Thank you, Todd, for giving me that score update.
Not SMU, USM. Swing and a miss by T.
Yeah, T so far today, grounded into a fielder's choice and then a couple more ground outs on the day. Trying to lift the ball into the outfield here and see if he can't get an RBI.
Looks at a pitch that misses somewhere.
I mean, that is something that Brian Shaw has been calling a strike, but that horizontal part of the zone has been wide today.
1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, 2 on here in the top of the 7th inning. High fly ball out to right center field. Back goes Cam Hill, but he has it measured, and he'll make the catch in the gap to retire Lawson T. No runs. There were no hits in the inning. No errors. 2 runners left on base. Rhythm have only left 6 on base. Only have 5 hits in the inning, or in the game. And we go to the bottom of the 7th as they do the stretch right here. Stay tuned after the ball game for the Frosted Luau player of the game and the Full Count Ministries verse of the game. We'll keep it right here, see if we can talk about this nice, beautiful program that was put together by Doodat Communications, a friend over at Doodat. Craig Sinnard is Doodat, located in the same spot as same area where Framework Athletics is. There's their advertisement. If you can see that, we got a lighting issue right there. Doodat Communications printed this beautiful program. You find the Chamberlain firm in there. That's Rex Chamberlain. He's an estate planning attorney. Cross-driven construction and Cross the Seams, baseball and softball training. And, of course, our title sponsor right on the back page, Rhythm Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. We want to thank Brian Duncan and the crew over there at Rhythm Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, located at 1221 West Main Street in Hendersonville, Tennessee. Get a hold of them online at rhythmcdjr.com. Hometown dealer, home run deals. They've been title sponsor for 3 years. There's no connection, honestly, between the name of the dealership and the name of the team. Rhythm Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, I believe, was probably a name of the dealership before Full Count Rhythm and Rhythm Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram got together. So we have a Safeware call to the bullpen. Raleigh Claunch. You got any intel on Raleigh Claunch?
I do. He's a redshirt sophomore who spent his last year at North Alabama. He's 5'2", 200 pounds. He's from Florence, not Italy, but Alabama. He played high school at Florence. He's got 8 siblings, 8 of them. But he only pitched in 2 innings this last year of North Alabama. Comes into today with a 4.5 ERA so far this summer. And the first pitch from Claunch is low and away for a ball.
You said he was 5'2". I don't think you meant that he was 5'2".
I meant 5'10". That
Just
would be unfortunate.
Sure. Yeah, Mom and Dad. It'd also be extremely unusual for a pitcher in college to be 5'2". So he gets a swing and a miss. Count goes 1 ball, 1 strike. AAA Auto Glass foul ball off to the right side by Brendan Brock, leading off the bottom of the 7th inning. One ball, 2 strikes to the right-handed hitting catcher who leads off. Breaking pitch catches Brock. What in the third? This is the third umpire balk. He was absolutely ready. Brian Shaw. That was the worst of them.
Down the middle.
It was a breaking pitch.
Perfect.
And he called it a ball. They're going to check down at first base, and the first base umpire, Brad Wilson, says he does not go. So we have a Full Count Ministries full count. I was ready to write the K in the book for Raleigh Claunch. That's ball 4 instead. So
I'm going to put an asterisk next to that walk.
Yeah, a strikeout turns into a base on balls here in the bottom of the 7th. Jackson Cawthorn going to have a conversation with Brian Shaw. He did everything except throw the hand up in the air on that call. So Michael Monlot, who is 3 for 3, double, single, and single, 2 RBIs.
I mean, have a couple of days, kid. He had a home run yesterday, and right now he's swinging a hot bat.
He's got 6 hits in the series. It looks at a ball 1. Claunch is the son of Pat and Kelly Claunch. There's a grandmommy in Jasper, Alabama, and a Mimi in Florence, Alabama. Runner goes, pitch is swung on, and Cawthorn again throws into right or center field.
Cawthorn has a great case for batter's interference.
I think they're going to call it right there. They're going to call the batter out, and the runner's going to have to go back to first base. The swing brought Milot across
and now
the plate.
Ralph Santana has to be careful with his words towards the home plate umpire.
Conversation now by the head coach is Ralph Santana. He's coming and talking to Brian Shaw, and he's pretty animated in whatever he's saying, but Shaw called timeout, and now he's going to want to go out and have a conflab with, not sure if that's an official term or not.
I like it.
Have you ever heard the term conflab? Maybe that's
I haven't, but
a government term that back in my law enforcement days that we turned that in.
Conflab, how would you?
Yeah,
C-O-N-F-L?
that's a conference.
Hey, that might be my next Wordle, my first Wordle guest tomorrow.
Yeah, they're going to call batter interference, and the runner's going. He's already back at first base. He knew what was happening. So Michael Milot's going to be retired the first time of the day on a batter's interference. His swing brought him across home plate, and Jackson Cawthron, I'm not sure if he made contact with
I think
Milot.
He didn't make contact, but definitely prevented him from following through, and a quick pickoff move nearly gets him from Riley Clunch. But as we've mentioned, that throw is trailed to the right side, but that time it wasn't really his fault. There was no room for him to finish the throw.
He had an excuse as Jack Porter stands in. The first pitch he sees is high and tight. Clunch staying at the host home of Todd and Melinda Neal along with Pig Howard. Todd Neal is his mentor. He gets a called strike. He and Carson Howard are both UNA right-handed pitchers. Porter's 0 for 3. He starts to duck underneath a breaking pitch.
I didn't miss by much, but, once a batter ducks in the zone, it's kind of hard to call it a strike, although they did it yesterday.
Pitch called a ball. Count goes 2 balls and a strike. 3-3 here as we play in the bottom of the 7th. 3 runs, 4 hits, 2 errors for the Rhythm. 3-7-2. There's a one lifted out to left center field. Tobias over into the gap, and he's going to make the catch for out number 2. Brock will hustle back to first base.
And man, how many of these would be home runs with metal bats during the regular season? It feels like all of these balls have just died, and they've been loud contact, but the wind is blowing in here. And again, most of these guys transitioning to wooden bats for the summer is a difference, but a lot of those are loud contact.
Lindsay stands in and looks at a ball outside. Trish Howard, who is rooting for her son's roommate over at the Neal house mansion that they have over there right across the street from Long Hollow Church. 6, 7 bedrooms, I'm not really sure. Sprawling complex. The pitch gets in there for a called strike. Can't hide money. Can't hide money over there at the old Neal household. They have twin boys who are out of the house. Nathan, who's one of the mentors. There's a ground ball to first base, but it goes foul. AAA auto glass, foul ball gloved by Von Dolan. Neals have twin boys that are about 27, I think. They graduated the same year as my youngest daughter, Delaney, from Beach High School. Hayden Neal married, and at least one kid down in Searcy, Arkansas. Clunch misses outside of that offering. Count goes 2 balls and 2 strikes.
There's this game online where you type in a city and it covers a certain amount of radius around it, and your goal is to fill up the map. And I'd love to do that with you in the South, because I bet you could put it on the hardest setting and you'd still get it done.
Swing and a miss. Clunch gets the inning-ending roof store strikeout, stranding one batter. And we are still tied after 7. Third pitcher of the ball game, Raleigh Clunch, gets an inning of work under his belt. And we will head to the top of the 8th. Thank you for joining us on Full Count Broadcast Network on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter.
Feeling tight, stiff, and not quite yourself? Then it might be time to go see the professionals at Absolute Wellness. Located at 101 Tennessee Way, Suite 100 here in Hendersonville, Absolute Wellness can get you back on track with their numerous services like chiropractic care, massage, acupuncture, spinal decompression, and IV therapy. Call Absolute Wellness at 615-264-8515 today to get in on some great offers. That's Absolute Wellness. Your road to absolute wellness starts here.
Compliant with code. If you're a facility manager or building owner, you've heard the term plenty of times. At Corson Fire and Security, we work to keep buildings compliant with the most demanding code of all, our own. We've been protecting people and property since before most of today's codes were even written. And what we've learned along the way makes us the best choice to partner with for the future. Corson Fire and Security, celebrating 70 years. Learn more at corson.com.
Let's get back to Full Count Rhythm Baseball action on the Full Count Broadcast Network.
Tim Reese and Max Keller, our broadcast intern in game number 2. Max is here with us if you're just joining us. We have not replaced Zach Williams. He is still on the staff. He's still our home play-by-play man. He just can't get away from Little Maddox that often to go on the road. This is our first overnight field trip. Our parents had to sign little permission slips for us to leave the house, and appreciate mine. Of course, my parents are no longer living. I had to get mine signed by my wife, Susan, at home. As she is there at the house by herself with the 2 young Rhythm pitchers that are here staying down at our place for the summer. Sure have enjoyed having Andrew Perry and Pedro Pulliam, as there's a Safeware call to the bullpen for the Thrillville Thrillbillies, their 4th pitcher in the ball game. Jackson Kahn, a right-hander, out in relief of John Montaigne. You got any information for Mr. Kahn?
I do. He's only gone 2/3 of an inning so far this season with a 0 ERA. Gave up 3 walks and a strikeout, but how about stranding all of them? So able to work with some crowds on the base paths, obviously for Ralph Santana and the rest of the coaching staff. They're hoping that he cleans up the walking situation, but definitely a guy who has some clutch genes, and they're going to need it as we're deep into this ball game now, tied 3-3 in the top of the 8th.
Ramey Harrison, Joe Watkins, Aiden Gibson set to face Jackson Kahn, C-O-N-N, as you see on your screen. You want to join the show? You can, even this late in the ball game. Send an email to treesports@gmail.com. Harrison looks at fastball that misses. Started to go and pulled back. Another pitch that misses inside. Left-hander swings and misses at a high fastball.
That one touching 89 miles an hour, and according to Mr. Sweeney, that's 91 miles an hour.
Ryan was throwing 89 on the gun yesterday, and he just wanted everybody to know that he actually throws 90 or higher.
Well, how about that one?
Swing and a miss.
Touching 90. No need for any addition or subtraction there. 9-0.
Except
from Kahn.
Kahn will say that he's throwing 92. That pitch is fouled back. That catches a good piece of Brendan Brock, and home plate umpire Brian Shaw will give him a little bit of time to recover as he is walking it off, stretching out his right leg. A little conversation there with Kahn and our home plate umpire. The count stays at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Harrison grounded out in the 3rd and walked in the 6th. Rhythm scored their 3 runs early in the first 2 innings. And there's a swing and a foul tip into the glove, and down goes Harrison. That'll bring up Joe Watkins.
Watkins so far today reached on an error. He's 0 for 3. Or 0 for 2, excuse me.
You're right. You were right the first time.
Yep,
0 for 3. The error does count as an at-bat. He scored a run. Looks at the first pitch low and away. 8 strikeouts for Rhythm batters already in this game, and now 7 1/3. Pitch from Kahn goes low and in the artificial turf, sneaks away from Brock.
Well, the Rhythm got lucky early in the game with some loud contact and some good base running. I think they got to just kind of, even if they just get on with some walks, they got to extend an inning here.
Another pitch misses low and away.
The Rhythm have 4 hits on the day.
Right down the can on that 3-0 pitch for called strike. Pitch it whispers at the outside corner. Watkins shakes his head, just as I did, and count goes full count Ministries. Full count to Joe Watkins, and he draws the walk.
That's kind of what the Rhythm needed.
Well, he earned it on the pitch before, but Brian Shaw just didn't see it that way, and he's in the business of calling strikes.
Now batting second baseman, number 34, Aiden Gibson.
Looking at the stats, the live stats online, for some reason on their pitching lines, they have hits, runs, earned runs, and walks. Okay, now I found the strikeouts. Looks a little bit funky on mine. Another pitch in the left-handed batter's box, called a strike.
And right now, making Brendan Brock look like the best framer of all time.
Brian Shaw's got somewhere to be at 7 o'clock. Runner goes, pitch is a ball. Throw from the knees.
I mean, that
is going to be in time. Brendan
dart.
Brock has just caught Aiden Gibson stealing. I don't know that Joe Watkins stealing.
If that throw only had a chance if it was in one place, and it was from the knees. Brendan Brock threw that one, skipped in the dirt, right into the glove hand for the caught stealing.
AAA Autoglass foul ball off the bat of Aiden Gibson, who's 1 for 2. Scored a run, dropped a double down in the right field line. Remy Harrison and Joe Watkins are victims of Brendan Brock behind the plate. They've been caught stealing 1 time each. 2 balls and 2 strikes, nobody on. 2 outs here in the top of the 8th, all tied up 3-3. Kahn delivers a pitch is grounded down to first base. Easy play for Jackson Lindsay. 3 unassisted as Kahn faces the minimum. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. Jackson Kahn with a clean inning. We'll move to the bottom of the 8th. Stick around. We'll be right back.
At Country Financial, we're more than just an office you may pass by as you drive through town. We're a part of your community and help support the programs that make our neighborhoods thrive. We take the time to get to know our clients. We know that every situation is unique, and our goal is to understand yours so that we can help you be confident about your financial security and your future. Call your local Country Financial representative, William Stiles, today at 615-824-7020 to talk about how we can help ensure the future you're dreaming of is something you can proudly own no matter what it looks like.
We all think about our home's yards, gutters, floors, and so much more. When was the last time you thought about your sprinkler system? That's where Music City Fire Sprinkler steps in. It may shock you that in-home sprinkler systems are discreet and affordable. Let the experts at Music City Fire Sprinkler tell you for themselves. Give them a call at 615-826-7450 or check them out on the web at mcfs.us. That's Music City Fire Sprinkler, proud sponsor of the Full Count Rhythm.
Let's get back to Full Count Rhythm baseball action on the Full Count Broadcast Network.
Tim Reese and Max Keller back for the bottom of the 8th inning. Got a text from a buddy of mine, Keith Hopper, the owner of Century Steel. See if we can find his. He's saying, "Where are you?" I think that was a text he sent at about 9:30 this morning because he was wondering where I was for our Push the Crybaby buggy around at Long Hollow Church this morning. He's been out for the last several weeks, and I've been handling the duties by myself, but he got to do it by himself today. He was looking for the help. Bryson Arnett, Cam Hill, and Carl Peters to face Raleigh Clonch. Well, we're going to have a Riley come in here, I think, in less than a week. Catcher out of Lee University. That one finally catches the outside corner. Count goes 2 balls and a strike to Arnett, who had a leadoff triple in the 6th and scored on a single by Cam Hill. AAA auto glass off the bat of number 35, Bryson Arnett from Lindenwood University. They play in the Atlantic Sun Conference with Lipscomb University, University of North Alabama, Bellarmine. That's a check swing and a foul ball toward the Thrillville dugout. No glass broken with that one, so not a AAA auto glass foul ball. Swing and a miss on a slow curve. Back-to-back strikeouts for Clonch. And the first out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Full count trying to get back in the win column after a loss to the Thrillbillies yesterday, 3-1. Also lost to Jackson Rockabillies. Another, foul ball.
I mean, both of those.
I think that was off the knob, of Cam Hill. He started to go after the first pitch, which is what he did in the 6th. He hit the first pitch he saw from Pedro Pulliam into left center field for an RBI single. Does not go after that pitch right down the can. It's down at the count, 0-2.
Smooth delivery from Raleigh Clonch. I mean, he's really feels like he's just kind of reaching out and placing the ball exactly where he wants it so far.
0-2. Off the fist and punched over into shallow right field. Aiden Gibson, the second baseman, over to make the catch for out number 2. 2 quick outs, and that brings up Carl Peters. Peters 0 for 3, struck out twice and reached on a fielder's choice. First pitch misses outside the zone. Appreciate all of our sponsors who've joined the Full Count Rhythm over the years, putting in ads in our program. This count goes 1 ball, 1 strike. Got a lot of good information inside there. There's a pitch on the outside corner for a called strike. Safeware is a new sponsor this year. PPE, we called it. Personal Protective Equipment supplier. Popped up to the left side, shallow left field, and on comes Andrew Hunt. He's going to make a running catch for a 1-2-3 inning. And we're going to go to the 9th as this game is still undecided. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on in that inning. So we will go to the 9th inning. We'll go ahead and keep it here. Go through the program here, see who we can talk about. The dynamic duo of dentists. I just came up with that one. The Tabor family. Doctors Jason and Mary Beth Tabor. They have a nice ad right here in the program. We have Kid City Smiles and Tabor Dental. They're a husband and wife dental team. Mary Beth Tabor, Claire Poff over at 113 Maple Road Boulevard, Suite A in Hendersonville. And then Jason Tabor. Doesn't tell me where he's located, but you can get a hold of them. They call themselves the Smiles That Rock. That's pretty cool. Nice website, www.smilesthatrock. And Jason Tabor, good friend of our man Travis Smith over at Edge Appraisals. They're big-time Predators fans. And they have been Rhythm sponsors and supporters for several years now, as they have a full-page ad in the program. Let's spend a little more time looking at that. There's the good-looking man right there Travis Smith. I mean, Trev, you're looking good, buddy. That looks good. Top of the ninth we go. Jackson Kahn back out on the mound. He's going to face 7, 8, and 9 in the rhythm order. Jackson Cothran calls timeout. As I'm not sure if he got something in his eye or not, but we are getting to twilight coming up on 6:30 Central Time, and the batter's box and third base area are in the shade. Pitcher right on the edge as he pours one in for a called strike. And everybody else is standing in the sun getting skin cancer. That's what I see. He's an extremely fair-skinned man.
Come on now.
I
was raised in a family. I'm all over it, Tim. The UV is now gone at 6:30 p.m. I mean, I'm in a full sunscreen family. You tell Nicole Keller I'm out there with no sunscreen, she'll fly straight from the Netherlands.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night for Jackson Kahn as Jackson Cothran is retired on a swinging strikeout. Second strikeout of the ball game for Kahn.
And if the wooden bats weren't hard enough, now the shade in between the pitcher's mound and home plate cannot make things any easier.
No, this is pitcher's time of the day. Brett Von Dolan swings at the fourth strike delivered by Kahn, and he fouls that one off, a AAA Autoglass foul ball. Von Dolan is 0 for 2 with a walk. Rhythm scored a run in the first on 2 hits, back-to-back hits to lead the game off. And then a fielder's choice by Ramey Harrison to drive in Framework Athletics' first run of the game. Count one, now 2 balls and a strike to the MTSU product, Brett Von Dolan. Common spelling of Von Dolan, as you can see on your screen. If, in fact, you're looking at it, you might just be listening as you're doing other things. One hopped in, backhanded by Brendan Brock.
That one bounced a couple feet in front of home plate.
That was a fair piece, 3 balls and a strike to Von Dolan. He swings and pops one up to the right side. It's in the sun. Jack Porter got his glove up, but looks like he will make the catch, and he will. You're looking for those context clues, and when the outfielder sticks his arms out, as Joe Watkins did early in the ball game at the bottom of the first, and with the international sign of I have no idea where that ball is in the air. This time Jack Porter did not do that. Too quickly out here in the top of the ninth. And Parker McDonald, the number 9 hole hitter, stands in, looks at a ball down low. He's 0 for 2. Also reached on a walk. Swing and a miss. Pitch up in the zone, and he comes up empty.
Yeah, Parker was trying to untie this game with that swing.
Don't know that that's Parker McDonald's game. Looks at ball 2. 5'11", 180-pound rising junior at Samford. He's a Bulldog. I think there's 4 Bulldogs on the rhythm team. Swing and a miss at a high pitch outside. He's down in the count. His 12 official at-bats at Samford, he did not have an extra base hit. Swing and a miss. Ball was dropped by Brock, but apparently he had possession for a long enough time, and a 1-2-3 inning in the top of the ninth. The Rhythm going to have to hope for extra innings. As we go to the bottom of the ninth, Thrillville looking to walk this one off and get a 2-game sweep of the Rhythm. Raleigh Claunch back out for the bottom of the ninth. We'll take a break and be right back on the Full Count Broadcast Network.
United Machine and Tool has been manufacturing the highest quality projects for a wide variety of industries for over 35 years. We deliver high-quality CNC machine components and fabrication projects from prototype to production. United Machine and Tool is committed to quality and excellence in the manufacturing industry. We're located in Goodlettsville, Tennessee. Check us out on the web at umttn.com for any manufacturing need. That's United Machine and Tool, a proud sponsor of the Full Count Rhythm.
Hey, I've been thinking, bank fees can seem pretty cruel. Well, they did until I went to Volunteer State Bank. I found a bank with a local personalized service and free checking. Yeah, may I present to you Kasasa. Now, it's kind of like my checking account is paying me instead of the other way around. Visit one of our 11 locations or anywhere you have a phone. Real people, real solutions, right here. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Let's get back to Full Count Rhythm Baseball action on the Full Count Broadcast Network.
Bottom of the ninth we go. Raleigh Claunch, first pitch to Caleb Herbert in there for a called strike. Third inning of work by Claunch. To get this inning in as he is standing in the sunshine, and batter Herbert is in the shade. Ball and a strike to Herbert. Ground ball booted by the third base coach, Ralph Santana, but picked up by Ramey Harrison, a third baseman, tossed into the Rhythm dugout. It's Ryan Sweeney down there looking to see who he's going to throw that baseball to. Pitch is grounded, backhand not made by Ramey Harrison. That gets down in the corner. This is extra bases for Caleb Herbert, and he is the winning run standing at second base. As Herbert got that ground ball between the bag and the diving glove of Ramey Harrison. First hit for Herbert in the ball game.
And we got to see the adjustment made live time there by Caleb Herbert, who just changed the trajectory of the ground ball by 3 feet from the previous one he hit on the foul ball.
Josh Griffin at the plate, second baseman. See if he's going to be asked to square around to bunt. He is squaring around, and he's going to pop it up. That could be playable. Raleigh Claunch cannot make the play in foul territory. Raleigh did not lay out. I don't know if he was concerned that maybe if he dove, he might run into Jackson Cothran, the catcher who was coming up. Normally you'll see a pitcher go ahead and hunt an out badly, and they're going to go ahead and dive. Raleigh may have thought he was going to catch that without having to dive, but it hit the turf. That's just a strike. So Griffin with another life here. Let's see if he's asked again to bunt. He does square around, lets that fastball high go by.
I mean, that is a huge sigh of relief for Josh Griffin.
Frankie Delgado checking in over there in the Knoxville area, Clinton, Tennessee. He's saying walk it off, boys, but I hope he's talking about the Rhythm. Bunted right back to Claunch, and he goes straight over to first base. Never even looked at third base, which not saying that he should have, but hit back at least hard enough where he could have at least maybe looked. But a sac bunt laid down by Josh Griffin, and that puts the winning run at third base. And the infield will have to come in for the leadoff batter, Brendan Brock.
Yeah, and Brendan Brock so far has walked and has a single, along with fielder's choice and a ground out. But this is a guy capable of, I mean, he just has to put one really high in the air into the outfield, and runner probably will be tagging, but we'll see how it goes down.
Infield drawn in, pitch is high and tight, backs Brock off. Here's another thing you got to be concerned about. If you spike a breaking pitch, it gets in the dirt, that'll score the winning run. You got a balk, wild pitch, pass ball, error, or a base hit, and nearly a hit by pitch. At this point, it's okay if you put a runner on. Matter of fact, I almost wonder, the problem is you don't want to put, if I'm going to put one on, I'm putting two on, because I don't want to pitch to my lot, who's on deck. There's a fastball up, and this might be a unintentional intentional walk, or an intentional unintentional walk.
I mean, I was going to say my lot might start getting that Charlie Condon treatment when he comes up.
Jackson Jarvis pointing and saying they're just going to go ahead and put him on. So that ends up being the intentional walk. But you're going to go ahead and you got to put my lot on as well.
Right?
They intentionally walk Brock. So my lot is doubled, singled, drove in a run in the third, drove in a run with a single in the fifth, was retired on a batter's interference, swinging and missing on a Brendan Brock attempted steal. They're going to pitch to him, and no, they're not. They're going to hit him. So the runner goes And Mylot's going to go ahead and reach first base on a hit by pitch. And the bases are now loaded. My opinion, not a bad thing, not a big problem.
Especially if you get one good ground ball to get out of the inning, but it might not be before we get a pitching change. I mean, they might talk things over. They also might go to a new arm.
I don't see anybody listening in the bullpen. I don't even see anybody there.
That would be a great context if I had looked out there.
Josh Carmen, I think, is going to come out. Well, he's getting the baseball, so whoever it is already loose. So we're going to have a Safeware call to the bullpen, and not sure who it's going to be, but they're calling down there for somebody.
Somebody just got up and started running.
He's already loose. He has to be. See if I can get a read on whoever it is wearing the pants up high. That's going to be Jackson Marbett.
And you can tell by the size.
Number 13, Jackson Marbett, is our Safeware call to the bullpen. He's going to come in to bases loaded, 1 out. Jackson Marbett has an appearance already. He is the son of Lee and Julie Marbett, 6'4", 205-pound redshirt junior who's in the transfer portal after 3 years at Middle Tennessee State University. Granddad and grandmama in Columbia, Tennessee, and a nana in Nashville. He is on the mound here to face Jack Porter. See if I got the intel on our man Jackson Marbett.
I mean, he can really throw that baseball. Standing at 6'4", 205.
Marbett is an inning of work. Walked 1, struck out 2, has not given up a hit or a run. And he is on in relief of Raleigh Claunch, who ends up going 2 1/3 innings. Gives up the 1 hit, which was the leadoff double by Caleb Herbert here in the bottom of the 9th. At this point has not given up any runs, but the 3 runners on base are his responsibility. And of course, all they need is the 1 to walk it off. So he ends up with 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, and a hit batter. But right now, he is the pitcher of record for the Rhythm. Jack Porter 0 for 4. A couple flyouts to center field, line out to left field, and a ground out. As the infield will play in, get the run at home. They won't try to turn the double play. Jackson Marbett brings it up there pretty good, but Jackson Cothran's going to have to be a brick wall behind home plate.
Yeah, I mean, Marbett, the hardest part about this situation is the fact that you can't walk home a run. You really need your best ground ball pitch right here, and you need that infield to be sharp and ready to turn to, or a strikeout.
That's what he's actually looking for, is a strikeout. And the first pitch is high. Jack Porter with only 1 strikeout on the season in 5 games. Pitch misses outside. 2 balls and no strikes, so maybe not be concerned as much now about the strikeout as in getting a pitch over the plate. At least a strike called. There's a swing and a miss. Count goes 2 balls and a strike. Harrison playing even with the bag at third. Parker McDonald in the baseline at short. Aiden Gibson also in the baseline at second base. And Brett Von Dolan is playing very shallow at first base. Right-handed hitting Jack Porter fouls the ball straight back. AAA Autoglass foul ball, and the count moves to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bottom of the 9th, 3-3. Bases loaded, winning run on at third base for the Thrillbillies, who are trying to go to 4-1 on the season. Rhythm trying to stave off a 3-game losing streak. 2-2 pitch, grounded to second. Gibson comes to the plate, and the force is applied on the step of home plate by Jackson Cawthron. Gibson had to avoid Brett Von Dolan, who was flashing right in front of him from first base. Von Dolan, after he saw that he was not going to be the one to make that play, had to get out of the way quickly. And Porter reaches on the fielder's choice, and the Rhythm have life. So a 4-2 put out gets the second out of the ball game. And now Jackson Lindsay steps to the plate. He's 0 for 3 with a walk. Now Lindsay has 8 strikeouts, now make it 9, but he hits one high and deep to right center field. Watkins back into right center field and makes the catch to retire the side and leave the bases stranded or loaded.
I mean, I'm certainly confused as to how Michael Milot even hit a home run in this ballpark last night. That thing was turned on, and it was still a good 10 feet away from getting out of here, and a great play made in right field.
Well, Joe Watkins can go get him, and he went and got that one out in right center field. Didn't even get to the warning track, but Lindsey got just underneath that one and lifted it up a little bit too high, and Jackson Marbett comes in and gets the job done, retires 2 batters, and saves the game, and we'll have free baseball as we will go to the top of the 10th inning. We'll have a Safeware call to the bullpen for the Thrillbillies. We'll tell you about him when we return on the Full Count Broadcast Network.
Don't strike out at your next party. Order the food that will get your crowd cheering. Chick-fil-A of Rivergate. We have many catering options available, from our Chick-fil-A nugget trays to our original Chick-fil-A sandwiches to our chocolate chunk cookies and fudge brownies. We have something for everyone. Order online at chickfil-a.com or call the store at 615-851-4007.
Rhythm Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram knocks it out of the park with Nashville's best selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs. Plus, all new vehicles come with the Rhythm exclusive lifetime warranty. Unlimited time, unlimited miles, no additional charge. That's a home run. Find your new Chrysler Dodge Jeep or Ram in Madison, just 10 minutes north of Nashville.
If you've got a dream, then we've got you covered. Rhythm Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram is like no other.
Let's get back to Full Count Rhythm Baseball action on the Full Count Broadcast Network.
Great pitching in the bottom of the 9th by Jackson Marbett to get out of the bases loaded 1-out jam. Keep the Rhythm alive, as they will send up 1, 2, and 3 against the new pitcher on for the Thrillbillies. That is Cam Edwards. Cam Edwards, a right-hander out of Lindenwood University. He's from Lake Charles, Louisiana. 5'9", 175-pound. It says here do I have the right number? That is 8 out there, and it's not number 6. Maybe it's 6.
I think it's 6.
It must be a 6 because, and that's 6 up there is coming down the wrong way. I was going to say, he doesn't look left-handed to me. All right, broadcaster error. Number 6, you go ahead and give us who you got on number 6.
Eli Manor is just a little bit bigger in frame, 6'2", 175 pounds. He's a righty who is a rising sophomore, finished his freshman year at Ren Lake College. And he's a local kid from right here in Illinois. It's a coin.
Ren Lake College. We get the start in the 10th inning. We start with a runner at second base. I forgot about that little rule, as Hunt will square around the bunt. So that is Parker McDonald, who starts at second base as basically a ghost runner. So I put international rule. So he starts down there. Doesn't get charged an at-bat. Andrew Hunt will not square around the bunt this time. He's now down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. He struck out looking twice in the ball game. He's 1 for 4 and scored a run. Looking to move McDonald over to third base. Josh Griffin at second base, giving him a lot of room in right side of the infield. That pitch misses away. number on there, 6 and 8. For old eyes like me, it really threw me off. Eli Manor looks back at second, nobody covering. There's a ground ball off the glove. That'll hit off the base and go into right field. The Rhythm are going to go up 4-3 as Andrew Hunt is stoked at first base. That easily could have been a ground out to the pitcher. Manor just got a glove on it. Josh Griffin thought he was going to get it behind the base, the second baseman, but it hits off of the bag and pops into right center field for an RBI single, and the Rhythm up 4-3. That's going to be tough to write into the scorebook to try to remember how that happens. Jacob Tobias squares around the bunt, pulls back as that pitch nearly hits him in the chest. He's already been hit in the back in his last at-bat. So the ghost runner comes in to score. And the Rhythm lead 4-3. Tobias tried to square again, and the umpire almost looked like he balked again. Either that or he was trying to get out of the way of the inside pitch. Count goes 2 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, so far, nothing really close for Tobias to bunt.
Tobias swings from the left side, swings and misses at that offering. Not squaring around to bunt that time. Jackson Jarvis down at third base, handling the signs as a ball has gotten away. Probably one of the kids over on the grassy knoll. Not sure who that was that.
I think Raleigh got it.
Is that Raleigh? Raleigh, like, is in North Carolina. Bunt is laid down, but it goes foul. Count moves 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lawson T standing on deck. This is Manor's first appearance of the year for the Thrillbillies. RBI single by Andrew Hunt gives the Rhythm 4-3 lead. Pitch down in the dirt. Nice stop by Brock behind the plate. Well, the Full Count Ministries full count. Hopefully after this batter, we'll get to our Full Count Ministries verse of the game. If not, we might do it between innings. And ball 4 down low. The first 2 have reached after the free runner Parker McDonald was stood out at second base. Jackson Kahn, the 4th pitcher of the ball game for Thrillville, went 2 innings, did not give up a hit or a run, walked 1, struck out 3. Rhythm have gone down on strikes 10 times in this ball game. Breaking pitch to Lawson T is up high. And he is due. He's 0 for 4. Never was able to finish that donut cheeseburger. My belly is rumbling right now. The pitch in the dirt. Or the turf.
We gotta get you some food before the road trip home.
Oh, yeah. Well, they feed the team after the game, so I'm sure I'll get something to eat. Yesterday they had good barbecue. I'm not a mac and cheese guy, but there were some folks loading up that plate. Did you get you some of that mac and cheese?
Man, I tell you what, I don't even want to say how many times a week I make mac and cheese in my apartment.
Okay. My grandkids like it, unless they come to my house. There's a called strike in the left-handed batter's box as Lawson T says he does not agree. Frankie Delgado now realizes that the Rhythm are not the home team. Popped up and out of play, a AAA Autoglass foul ball. So I'm pretty sure this is dad Frankie Delgado and not son Frankie Delgado. Frankie Delgado, 2-year player for the Rhythm the last 2 years from Carson Newman University, as his mom and dad were regulars on the broadcast. He cracks one, soft liner to third, and they're going to double off Hunt at second base. He was off of the crack of the bat, but as soon as he saw that was going to be right at Bryson Arnett, he started retreating to second, but just too far off the base, and a double play on the line out. Now 2 away. Tobias stays at first and Ramey Harrison at the plate. So a softly hit line drive right at the third baseman. Ramey Harrison gets a base hit into right field. Tobias cannot see Jackson Jarvis. He's not sure if Jackson was holding him at second or not, but that was grounded into right field, and Tobias ends up staying at second. Harrison gets his first hit of the ball game, and that's 2 hits in the inning. First 2 hits since the 4th for the Rhythm. Now Joe Watkins, who's also due, he's 0 for 3 with run scored after reaching on an error and got on a walk in the 8th. Looks at a breaking pitch for a called strike. And Frankie Delgado says it is Dad. Frankie and Mata, parents. And there's a slow roller to shortstop. Caleb Herbert will just go the short way and underhand toss to Josh Griffin for the 3rd out. For out number 3, 1 run on 2 hits. That run is an unearned run in your scorebook as a free runner. You can't charge that earned run to a guy who didn't even give it up. So an unearned run, but a run nonetheless on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 runner is left on base. We're headed to the bottom of the 10th inning, and just like the Rhythm did, the Thrillbillies will start with a runner at second base as well, and that will be Jackson Lindsay, who is the last out of the bottom of the 9th. Let's get to our Full Count Ministries verses of the game, as we'll have to wrap up the show here quickly so that we don't miss the Anchor Transportation bus headed back to Hendersonville following this contest. It is a couple verses sent in by Todd Neal. He got in second in the running yesterday. Zach Williams got his verses in early, or verse, Proverbs 16:9 yesterday. But Todd Neal has sent in Romans chapter 8, verses 38 and 39 that says, "For I am convinced that neither death nor life, nor neither angels nor demons, neither the present nor the future, nor any powers, neither height nor depth, nor anything else in all creation." So basically, nothing will be able to separate us from the love of God that is in Christ Jesus our Lord. Find that in Romans chapter 8, verse 38 and 39. Todd Neal and I both can attest to that. God loves us despite all of our sins, misgivings, foibles. Use that one in a good sense. Foibles, that's a good word right there. Our foibles. Thank you to Todd Neal for sending in today's Full Count Ministries verse of the game. Join us next game and send an email to treesports@gmail.com and let us know if you have a Full Count Ministries verse of the game. Jackson Marbett delivers first pitch. It's grounded into left field. And Andrew Hunt with the throw to the plate, and they've got a play, but the runner retreats to third, and on the throw home, Bryson Arnett is going to head on down to second base. So for the time being, the Rhythm stave off the tying run, as it looked to me like Jackson Lindsay was going to be toasted cheese at the plate. But again, my view is obscured by the window frame post that's between the 2 windows. Now runners are at second and third, so the tying run is on at third and the winning run at second base with nobody out. Cam Hill is at the plate, and Rhythm have chosen to bring the infield in to cut off the tying run. Not sure if all coaches would end up doing this. And Cam Hill gets hit with the first pitch delivered by Marbot, and the bases are going to be loaded. First hit batter for Marbot. And the second hit batter for Rhythm pitchers. Jackson Marbot came on in relief of Raleigh Claunch in the 9th. Bases loaded, nobody out, and he was able to extricate the Rhythm out of that tough situation. And now Carl Peters stands in, and that pitch is way outside.
And now Marbot's going to have to really tightrope his way out of this situation. Not a lot you can do here besides get strikeouts and maybe an infield fly.
Got a fielder's choice on a ground ball to second base on his first time, and he is yanking another one glove side. And 2 balls and no strikes to the Thrillville left fielder from Webster University. He's 0 for 4. Another one yanked outside. Marbot hadn't even been close. And he's a pitch away from walking in the tying run. Nobody, there is somebody loosing in the Rhythm bullpen. And Marbot's going to have to pour one in, but he will not. That's a 4-pitch walk. And we are tied 4-4. Ghost runner Jackson Lindsay comes in to score. Everybody moves up 90 feet, so Bryson Arnett is the winning run standing down at third base. Might be a little premature to do our Frosted Luau player of the game. We're going to hold off on that. Right now, the leader in the clubhouse is Chet Lax with the start on the mound. 4 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. Left with a 3-1 lead. Strike one, a bit of a gift right there on the outside corner. As Marbot again pulls it glove side. Caleb Herbert, who doubled to start off the bottom of the 9th, is at the plate. Can be the hero for Thrillville, but takes that pitch high, ball and a strike.
It was almost the same exact spot as the previous pitch.
One was a breaking pitch and one was a fastball, I think, though. Was that first one not a breaking pitch?
I think you're right.
Infield in, swing and a miss. Marbot a strike away from recording the first out. Josh Griffin lurks on deck. Been a thrilling couple of ball games here in Marion, Illinois. A AAA Autoglass foul ball, that gets out of play. Thank you to those of you that have taken your time to send in a post on Facebook. You know what I haven't done is go and see how many we've had on Twitter or X. Try to do that right now. And the pitch sliced foul over the Thrillville dugout.
Luckily, the fan okay over there kind of caught them off guard. Got to have your head up at all times.
I don't see where it's telling me how many people are joining us on. Well, that's showing in the top of the first. Another AAA Autoglass foul ball.
Right now, Caleb Herbert is really fighting at home plate to not strike out. Again, anything put into the outfield would likely walk this game off.
The 1-2 swung and it missed. Down goes Herbert with a roof store strikeout, the first of the ball game by Marbett, and there is the first out.
The same situation from last inning with runners in scoring position and 1 out. And last inning, they got a ground out to get the forced out at home, and then a big fly out.
Josh Griffin laid down a sacrifice bunt in the 9th to move Herbert over from 2nd to 3rd.
And if you're asked Tim Reese, he's a big fan of the suicide squeeze.
You just get ready for it. Marbett is pitching from the stretch, fouled straight back as Griffin what am I trying to say? Gave no indication of bunting. He was swinging away at the first pitch. He wants to walk this off with a base hit. Outfield is playing in as they can't let a ball drop in front of them at all, and if they catch a ball deep, they're going to score on a sac fly anyway. So Andrew Hunt looks like he's playing fairly deep in left field, but he's coming in as the pitch comes in. Pitch comes in wide of the mark. Again, glove side missed by number 13, Jackson Marbett. Looks like maybe he's not feeling the comfort from those brand new uniforms. Keeps on stretching his arm out. Above him now, 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Nearly hit Josh Griffin. And after covering him a year at Vol State and following him at Trevecca right now, he's thinking, why did I not let that one hit me? He backed away from an inside fastball and then raised his head up in the air and said, why didn't I let that hit me?
It's just human instinct.
Kenny Thomas checking in on Facebook as that ball is fouled off. A AAA Auto Glass foul ball. 280 of you folks listening in on Twitter. Thank you watching the broadcasters here, Tim Reese and Max Keller. We are broadcasting on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We get the actual responses and howdies on Facebook. Is swing and a miss. Down goes Josh Griffin on a high fastball, and Jackson Marbett with 2 big roof store strikeouts.
I mean, we are watching a master class in stressful situational pitching.
Jackson Marbett is crawling his way out of the hole, and Jordan Duell, pitching coach, will come out and have a chat with the bases loaded, 2 out now, as they had the bases loaded and nobody out after scoring the tying run. Jordan Duell in his first year with the Rhythm. He's from San Diego, California. His parents have checked in on Facebook earlier. Kenny Thomas, it's good to hear from you. KT was the very first coach for the Full Count Rhythm back in 2021. He is coaching up in Williamsport, Pennsylvania this summer. He's getting back into coaching as he is retired from the University of South Carolina at Aiken. Was also a longtime coach, I think about 10 years, at Volunteer State Community College in Gallatin. Former Metro Nashville police officer. He gave that up to put the uniform on and start filling out a lineup. 20 plus years, I believe, at USC Aiken. Now getting back in this summer. First pitch to Brendan Brock, the leadoff batter, is missed low and away. Jordan Duell, big Texas A&M fan. He's an analytics man down for the baseball team. Lifted out to right field. Back goes Joe Watkins, and will he do it again? He will. He'll make the catch for the last out. The bases loaded and the winning run on at third base, and Jackson Marbett comes back and gets the job done. The Rhythm are like cats. They got several lives, 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, 3 more runners left on base. Thrillville has left, there's 13 runners on base. Each team scored a run in the 10th. We're going to the 11th. That'll really mess up a score sheet for you. We'll take a break and be right back on the Full Count Rhythm Broadcast Network.
If you didn't know, the Full Count Rhythm is part of the organization called Full Count Ministries. Full Count's mission is to give every baseball player the opportunity to hear the gospel, respond to the gospel, and grow in the relationship with Jesus. With Full Count, you could lead by discipling the next generation by using our resources, or you could go on international mission trips. For more of what we do, check out our website at fullcountministries.com or our pages on Instagram and Facebook.
Safeware is there when response is critical, assisting in the classroom as you shape the future of America, helping you build roadways and infrastructure for tomorrow. With protective solutions, innovative technology, and leading technical services, Safeware works tirelessly to provide our nation's workforce with confidence in their safety. Before, during, and after, Safeware is there.
Two extra innings that we go. We're headed to the 11th. Joe Watkins will be the ghost runner on at second base. International rules of extra inning action. See if we can get to the Prospect League scoreboard. Final in Johnstown, Pennsylvania. The Lafayette Aviators win 6-3. Champion City Kings in Springfield, Ohio, defeated Chillicothe Paints 11-4. Rex Baseball 11, DuBois County Bombers 3. That's a final. Another final is Cape Catfish over the Rockabillies 8-4. A square around the bunt attempt by Aiden Gibson. He pulls the bat back, or at least he started to look like he was going to bunt. Had to pull that bat back on a pitch high and out of the zone.
We'll see if he decides to swing it. He's going to show bunt again.
Pulls it back on a disappearing breaking pitch that misses. 2 balls, no strikes. As Eli Manor back out on the mound for Thrillville.
Jackson Lindsay ready to charge the baseball.
Try to go to the third base side is what Gibson's going to try to do. And he gets a nice English on that, and that ball's going to be gloved by the pitcher Manor, and his throw to Josh Griffin at first base pulls Griffin off the base.
That had fun spin to it.
It did. I'm telling you, I wonder if they give an error on that throw, although I think a good throw would have gotten him. So I'm going to assume that
Rhythm catcher number 25, Jackson Cawthorn.
that will be an error. Don't see it on the board yet. I've got 7 hits for us, but they only have, actually they're missing a hit for each team as Jackson Cawthorn looks at a ball down in the turf. So the scoreboard here at the ballpark not meshing with my score sheet. Hayden Gibson, at least with a sack, if not a bunt base hit, moves the runner to third base, and Jackson Cawthorn looked like he got hit in the sleeve, but he's not heading to first. He's standing right in there with a 2-ball, no-strike count. Runners at the corners, brought to you by CrossFit Hendersonville. Popped up in the infield. Caleb Herbert under it with his feet in the brown artificial turf, and he makes the catch. We're out number 1.
And it's just been a game of cat and mouse here the last 2 innings. Both teams surviving extra innings in different ways. And, I mean, it's just been, honestly, some unbelievable pitching clutch from the arms we've seen on the mound.
First pitch to Von Dolan. Whispers at the outside corner. Brett looking for his first hit of the ball game. They did end up giving an error. What they probably won't do is that pitch gets on that outside corner again. They probably won't give Aiden Gibson a sack, and I'll have to go in there and school somebody, I think. AAA Auto Glass foul ball off to the right side. As he reaches on the air, but he should not be charged an official at bat. So first and third, one out. Von Dolan trying to drive in the go-ahead run, and a breaking pitch misses high and just over the head of Von Dolan.
That one never really broke, and it was just on top of the head of Brett Von Dolan.
Spinner. We've gone over the 3-hour mark here for this ball game. Not what you want on what they call a getaway game. Ground ball to third. Fair ball. Nice play by Arnett at third base, but an RBI ground out. Drives in Joe Watkins with the go-ahead run. Nice backhand by Bryson Arnett down at third base. I thought he might try to come home as he'd be able to throw around Watkins. I didn't think he's going to have a chance to throw to first.
That would have been a really, really tough play. Not that wasn't, but just as the first pitch to McDonald is high. I think that one could have ended up being no outs, and then you got a ball that goes to the backstop. You got runners on second and third. So I think that's damage control.
Called strike to Parker McDonald. Count goes 1 ball, 1 strike. On the play, Aiden Gibson moved down to second base, so a base hit could drive in the second run of the inning. There it is, base hit, no, glove by Griffin, down on the knee, throw to first base. The one hopper gets over Jackson Lindsay, and another run does score. Josh Griffin playing up the middle, and he dove on one, actually slid on one leg, was able to backhand, came up and made the throw, but it one hopped and went over the glove. See how that is scored.
I mean, it feels like it's not an error because of the play he made, but at the same time, I think a throw does.
The throw would have got him, but he had to dive to make the catch, so.
That's a bizarre one.
We'll see how the official score rules that one, and the Rhythm lead 6-4. First pitch to Andrew Hunt, who singled in the 10th to drive in that time the go-ahead run in the 10th inning. Called strike, and now called 2 strikes. He has looked at a lot of strikes that have gone right over the paint on that left-handed batter's box today. Struck out looking twice. He's got 2 hits in the ball game, and he gets him another one and an RBI as he reaches out and just gets a piece of that one to foul it off. AAA Auto Glass. Still waiting on the ruling. They did show a hit up there, don't they? They've got 7 hits, so an infield basically single, but there's got to be an extra error there, that error that got the run to score, I think, and gets him to second. Swing and a miss. Down goes Hunt for the strikeout. But the Rhythm scored 2, and at least one of them's unearned. I'm going to guess that, both of them are going to be unearned runs. As Gibson, who scored, he reached on an error, but there was 1 hit in the inning, and 2 errors are going to be charged to Thrillville, and 1 runner is left on base. Let's see, Manor picks up his first strikeout there of Hunt, with the Rhythm take the 6-4 lead. Back out on the mound to try to get the win is Jackson Marbett. Let's see where he is in the lineup. We're going to face Michael Milot, that thorn in the side, and he's going to have Brendan Brock standing on second base. But Milot will be the tying run only, not the winning run, as he comes to the plate. Here in the bottom of the 11th inning, still in the balance, the Frosted Luau player of the game. Let's see if anybody stood out there
At this point, if they were to hold on to this game, you could argue giving it to Jackson Marbett.
But you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. That's a good call right there. He ends up getting the win. He came in with bases loaded and 1 out, and was able to get 2 outs and strand 3 runners. And a allowed 2 to get on after the international rule runner got on at second base and was pitching with bases loaded and nobody out, and extricated himself out of that situation. And now he's got to extricate himself out of a runner at second and nobody out, and the hottest hitter in the ballpark, who is 3 for 4 in this game after going 3 for 4 in yesterday's game, Michael Milot. I believe he's in the transfer portal, but was at Bradley University last year, and he has another one buzz the tower. Jackson Marbett pats his chest and says, "My bad." As the score bug has a little bit of an issue when we get to the 11th inning, apparently. 11th showing, and the 0 outs is right on top of each other. Milot with a high fly ball to left, but this will stay in the yard. Andrew Hunt over. He makes the one-handed grab, and strong throw to third base keeps Brendan Brock at second. So Milot finally able to be retired normally.
Hey man, I'm telling you, there's nothing less satisfying. Well, I mean, as a full count rhythm fan, very satisfying. But as a baseball fan, some of these swings just look so good. And this ball has been dying here at this field in Marion with these deep walls. But for the full count rhythm, they'll take it. Marbett steps off the mound. Checking on the runner at second. I mean, this is huge right here. 1 out.
Fastball misses up.
Can you keep the runner from getting over to third before you get the second out? And if you can, that could be really big for winning this game.
Pitch gets in there on the outside corner. Called strike to Jack Porter, who's 0 for 5. Porter came in hitting .357. So if you're a Thrillbilly fan, Marbett steps off again there, and apparently it's a different batter. They're going to say that was the second time that he did it, so they're going to say ball 2.
Yeah, and he says, "My bad."
I wasn't sure which batter he had done that at. I knew he'd done it in the inning, but his second disengagement results in ball 2 to Jack Porter. 2 balls and a strike. Now on Porter, he flies one up into the air. That's in the infield. Von Dolan standing in foul territory just next to the first base bag makes the catch for out number 2, and the Rhythm are 1 out away from getting the split in the 2-game series. And an extra inning affair. First extra inning ball game of the year. Rhythm did have a walk-off winner in the bottom of the 9th against Du Bois County back at home, the first home ball game of the year. They did credit Aiden Gibson with a sacrifice bunt. I was wondering if they credited an RBI, as first pitch is a changeup, misses high and away to Jackson Lindsay. So Parker McDonald got that base hit. Actually, they haven't given Parker McDonald a hit. Not on the live stats. Well, that can't be right. Let's see if we can go back as the AAA autoglass on a check swing by Lindsay. Count goes a ball and a strike. I'm just too big of a scorebook nerd. The 1-1 is outside. They did not give Parker McDonald a base hit on that. They said he reached on the air. Oh, I can't. So that apparently was a change. Ground ball foul to the Thrillville dugout.
Let's get the 2-strike clap going here in the booth. Bringing it from Coral Gables.
Is that what you do?
All the way to Marion, Illinois. But here we go. Come on, Jackson Marbett. Can he finish this game off and earn his spot as the player of the game?
Trevor Barnes rooting for the Rhythm on Facebook. 2-2 pitch. Oh, another umpire balk. He turned to his right a half step and does not make the call on a pitch just inside as Lindsay pulls away. And will a Full Count Ministries full count. Runner without a runner at first base should not be going on this. Full count pitch. Full Count Ministries. Full count. And that pitch is outside for ball 4. And the tying run is now on base. Marbert walks his second batter, and that'll bring up Bryson Arnett, who's been pretty clutch today for the Thrillbillies. Tripled in the 6th inning leading off. Hit one into right center field that rolled all the way to the wall, and he slid into third ahead of the throw. Had a single in the 10th inning.
Man, this game is just all over the place.
2 runners on, 2 outs. Arnett gets a ground ball to third. Ramey Harrison gloves, and he'll step on the bag to give Full Count their 3rd win of the year. And the victory goes to the Full Count Rhythm and Jackson Marbett. This one belongs to the Rhythm, who get the split in an 11-inning ball game.
Electric stuff. And you just saw the emotion on the face of Jackson Marbett stepping off the mound and just absolutely thrilled with the way he played today, as he should be.
Jackson Marbett is our Frosted Luau player of the game. Marbett ends up going 2 2/3 innings.
And as Julie Marbett lets us know, again, he did have to do a medical red shirt, and it's only his 2nd time pitching since Tommy John surgery. So, I mean, Julie, I mean, the look on his face, he was so excited there, and he deserves every bit of praise he gets from his teammates.
Jackson Marbett gets the win, gives up 1 hit. I believe that's right. These are all unofficial. The run he gave up is unearned.
Everything that Tim does is unofficial, but he'd like it to be official.
Yeah, I have my opinions. Ramey Harrison, I believe that was his first play of the day as a ground ball to third base, his first action at third base, and he gets the walk-off winner there as he steps on third on the ground out. Marbett with 2 walks, gets 2 strikeouts. Those were the back-to-back ones in the 10th. And he gets the win. The loss goes to Eli Manor, who falls to 0-1 on the year. So Marbett, in his 2nd appearance of the year, trying to find him on here, there we go, 2nd appearance, gets the win, and the Rhythm moved to 3-3 on the season, stop the 2-game losing streak, and take this one 6-4. As I bet you I did take some time off of Julie's age right there. 2.5 innings. He was in the pressure cooker quite a lot, wasn't he?
I mean, once you get through something like that, it really goes such a long way for your confidence, because you really just believe in yourself, and you believe that, you know, you're able to get yourself out of those situations. And he should be proud. I've seen 7 to 8 different college baseball games at, you know, the highest of highest levels with all the competition, and none of those guys have been able to get out of bases loaded with no outs or 1 out, you know, and he just did it to perfection, located all of his pitches, and at first, the first batter he faced with bases loaded was 2-0 count.
It was.
And he got out of it, so just awesome stuff there.
Yeah, great job in that 10th inning. He came in relief in the 9th with the bases loaded, 1 out, was able to get a fielder's choice ground ball to Aiden Gibson at second base. He threw to the plate to get the force out at home plate, and then got a fly out to right field to end the inning, and then started in the 10th with the international rule. Runner was at second. Base hit to left, put runners at second and third after Arnett moved to second base on the throw to the plate. A hit batter loaded the bases, then Carl Peters walked, drove in 1 run, which ended up being unearned. But with the bases loaded, he strikes out Herbert, strikes out Griffin, and gets another fly out. As apparently we have some entertainment after the game. We won't turn the camera around today, but the accolades coming in: Todd Maloney, Trish Howard, Jana Simmons Price, see Robin Tobias, Amy Travis, Trevor Barnes, Julie Marbett, all checking in on Facebook saying, way to go, guys, as be a lot better bus ride home.
Yeah.
But a successful road trip, not only for the team but also for the broadcast folks, as we have introduced you to Max Keller, our first broadcast intern. He will be going back to Miami down in Florida for his senior year, but he's going to spend the summer with us. He's out of Nashville, Tennessee, so he will be on the road with us and hopefully at home as well, but we'll join the team.
So happy to join the team. This is a great introduction. First 2 games were awesome. Everybody that tuned in has been so kind, and everybody's been really nice, and definitely not only this summer, I'd love to meet all you guys when I'm at home games, but if you guys are ever looking to see some ACC baseball down in Miami, maybe on a vacation or something, feel free to reach out. But I'm excited to get to know you guys, and just a huge thank you to Tim and the whole Full Count Ministry organization and Full Count Rhythm team for having me, and we'll keep it brief because Tim and I got a bus to catch.
We got a bus to catch, and we got to tear down equipment. But folks, it's been fun. We've want a big shout out to the Thrillville folks. They have treated us very, very well.
Especially our food runner.
I didn't get to eat my hamburger. I wish I had a microwave here. I could heat that baby up, but not going to be able to do that. But
the trip back to Hendersonville will just be an extra 5 minutes long. We'll stop for Tim to get some food.
They got food out here, and they've got quite a setup here. The Prospect League teams feed you after ball games, and they'll feed the team, and we'll get in on that as well. But thank you, everybody who's joined us via YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. We sure appreciate you guys checking in on. Look at there, Jim McGuire's just joined us. My buddy over at Volunteer State got in right at the end of the game. At least, Jim, your Facebook is showing that it's coming in. I know you were trying to be anonymous, but with me around, Jim, if I recognize you, for the most part, you're not going to be anonymous. I love Jim McGuire. He's given me the opportunity to broadcast over at Vol State, and he and Bobby Hudson have treated me like family as well. Love those guys, as I'll be getting back to the fall season in September. But for Josh Carmen and Max Keller here, my trusted now analyst and sometime play-by-play man on the road, this is Tim Ray saying God bless y'all. Thank you again, as the Full Count Rhythm defeat the Thrillville Thrillbillies in thrilling fashion in 11 innings. 6-4, Jackson Marbett with his first victory on the mound in relief. God bless you. We'll talk to you on Tuesday from Chillicothe, Ohio, as the Rhythm will be back on the road again for a 3-game road trip. Max will be with me along on the trip. So we'll have an audio-only 3 games in Chillicothe, Ohio, back in Drakes Creek Park on Friday for a home game. So join us again on Full Count Ministries, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter pages. God bless you, everybody. Thank you for joining us on the Full Count Broadcast Network.
This has been another Full Count Rhythm baseball game presented by Full Count Ministry and Rhythm Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram. See you next time on the Full Count Broadcast Network.